Ooh, dark theme. Yes.
Do a what screen?
I'm in the dark screen mode. I'm going to raise my hand.
Okay, there's your hand. It worked. I need to record this shit. I'm going to start recording.
From clapping. How do you like that shit?
You're finding all the toys.
Yeah. I think I have to sit on my thumb button. I raised my hand. I lowered my hand. Okay.
Check this out.
What
this?
the? Dude. Wow. I didn't.
How'd you like that?
All we need is a Smurf curtain minivan and would be like perfect.
Right?
God. Something's wrong here.
And then we can be in an Aztec sacrificial auditorium.
Yeah, my head's already laying on there.
Right. A bunch of crazy shit you can do on this.
Oh, it's been so long since I've used this.
This is a bunch of silly shit.
Is this like Mario Brothers?
Yeah, it's like Duck Hunt or something.
Oh, I love Duck Hunt.
Was that not the best?
Dude, it was great.
What else we got here? Let's go to the bar. Let's have a drink.
Dude, I'm down for that. Oh, assholes gave me a cappuccino.
2 whiskeys.
Yeah, we're sitting on wooden seats. Really?
Right?
Were they trying to give you hemorrhoids?
It's Old West.
God.
Wait a minute here.
Old West with Art Deco seats.
Here's an airport bar. Does that make you feel better?
Yeah. Dude, what's up with them giving me coffees?
Yeah, there's a little whiskey in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I can see that.
All right, enough of that shit.
That's what we get for playing in video game land and airport bars.
I know. Let's not touch anything else. We got this shit working now. So let's do this. You ready to get started?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right, lead heads. We are back with another episode of the Talking Lead Podcast. I'm your host, Lefty, bringing you all the leducation here on the Talking Lead Podcast. 10 years of leducating the uneducated, and then some. And if you didn't get a chance, make sure you check out last episode where we had Brian Steer with Lockdown, and we talked about the upcoming, and for our video audience, you can see in my background, the secure walls that they are getting ready to release. And he hit you guys with an awesome discount code. So if you go to Lockdown, you use the code LEADHEAD, you can get 15% off anything you purchase there, not just these secure walls when they come out in January, but now until they decide not to give you this discount anymore. Use Leadhead and all their products, the puck, the little hide-a-wall that they got, hide-a-shelf, I think is what they call it. The magnets that they've got, all their little safe accessories and everything. Go check them out at Lockdown. I think it's lockdown.com, not Lockdown Secured. I think that's just their hashtag they use. So go to lockdown.com and use that code LEADHEAD 15% off. And check out that episode because it was a really good episode with Brian. And we talked about a lot more than just the secure walls. So check it out. And then as you guys know, after that episode, we were headed out to Arizona for an event that they were putting on. It was Lockdown and Crimson Trace, American outdoor brands, and several of their partners and some of our sponsors were involved with that too. Mission First Tactical, SEAL 1 was involved with that. And we're going to do an episode and get some of the attendees that were on the involved with that and some of the sponsors. And it was at Gunsight. So maybe we'll get a couple of the Gunsight guys on there too. But this episode, I did manage to meet this guy while we were at this event, and we might touch on it a little bit. But Ton Jones is our guest this episode, Leadheads, and you probably recognize the name from Spike TV if you ever watched Spiked a few years ago. and you were into those reality TV shows. I'll use the finger quote, reality TV shows. He was
damn reality TV shows.
That's right. The star of Auction Hunters, and Ton Jones is our guest, ladies and gentlemen. Ton, welcome in.
Thanks, brother. I'm a little pissed at you right now.
Well, why?
I see that secure wall in your background.
You've got one? Don't you have one?
Let me check my delivery. Still not here.
Oh, you will get one. I got mine a few months ago.
Yeah.
But see, when you get yours, you're going to have all the pegs and everything. I had to go to like Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart and piecemeal my pegs together. But that's the good thing about these walls is that you can use just regular old peg accessories, but their hanging accessories are awesome.
Dude, they're sick. I'm glad I actually get to see it because I'm getting some ideas for mine.
There's unlimitless possibilities for these things.
I got so much shit I need to hang up, bro. Get off the ground.
You need to hang some meat, what you need to hang.
Dude, seriously. Look at all that. There's our gun cases. Look at that. Lefty.
Mine came in yesterday.
Is that a Kalashnikov, I see?
There's several.
Oh.
There's several.
Yeah.
I do this thing called the AK corner, Ton, and that's all we talk about our AK. Are you into AKs?
Just a whole bunch. I think I need to send you my FFL so you could,
you share the love.
Holy crap! My favorite round for hog hunting, period, is 7.62 by 3.9.
No shit.
Oh yeah,
it'll definitely take a hog down, man. No problem.
CMMG Mutant fan. I mean,
I've seen the post on your page. So how's that running for you? I don't own one of those, but I've heard a lot about them, and I've finger fucked them a few times at a couple of the range day events.
Dude, I've made so much meat jelly with that thing. Oh, it's my wife gets so frustrated because you know how on Amazon you can set stuff to auto ship, like make a subscription?
Right.
That's what we have to do with 1,000-round cases of ammo.
Auto ship?
So, oh yeah, because I'm like, we're going hog hunting. And she gives me that look like, I'm going to beat your ass. And all 5'4" of her can.
Sure.
And she gives me that death look, and I'm running for the door with a case of ammo in the hand. And you've seen me. I don't run. I was never built to run.
Well, you're built to stand your ground and pound.
Dude, there is no anti-venom for estrogen, brother.
Oh.
Just fucking run.
Run. It wears on the ears too. Yeah.
Yeah, I love my 7.62 by 3.9. It's the AK that is by far my go-to for 99% of the stuff I do. I've tried bird hunting with it. It's a little difficult.
It's a little, unless you're hunting ostriches or something. So you love the 7.62 round. So I was telling you we do this show is called the Talking Lead AK Corner, and that's all we talk about our AKs. And we got this month's coming up, and we're going to be talking about the AK shotgun, which would be perfect for hunting dove. Right?
Where is that? And what is that? And what?
So they've been around since, the 90s. Kalashnikov came out with their version of it, and then there's been several other companies that have come out with them since then, and in different versions and iterations. And in here in America, being the innovative company that we are, there are several companies that build upon those platforms and make them even better, like Dissonant Arms. So we're going to have several of the experts on that coming up on the next AK Corner, Leadhead, so stay tuned. That's coming up.
It's an actual on an AK platform.
It is an AK just blown up, and I've got one back here, right there, Kalashnikov USA.
Holy crap.
That's one right
Because
there.
I have the EAA version. It looks like an M16 12 gauge.
Yeah, they make AR versions.
Yeah, the
of
AR
those.
12 gauge.
Nah, they're not good. These are much better, more fun.
You know, my wife's going to be pissed at you because now I'm going to have to get one.
So I was at Royal Range. That's a range here in Nashville area. And, they've got all kinds of different full auto guns that you can rent and shoot. And they have a full auto AK 12 gauge. Yes.
Okay, once again, I'm going to have to send you my FFL.
We'll talk. Definitely.
Bro, that is badass.
So isn't it great when you learn about something that you didn't know existed? And you're like,
that's amazing.
Why has this not been in my life?
I have the AR version, and we go shoot and skeet with it all the time.
Yeah?
I mean, literally. But it is got the 20-round mags, and we put the Firebird targets on the skeet. We just go to town.
Oh, yeah. Those Firebird targets are awesome. I love those things.
But that needs to be in my life.
We'll talk. We'll definitely talk.
That is badass.
Next bird hunt, you're going to take one of these, right?
Dude, that needs to happen. Sandhill crane, baby.
There you go.
Sandhill crane.
Oh, yeah. The filet mignon of bird.
Oh, God, that's so good. I'll cook. You bring that. I'll do the hunting and barbecuing.
I don't get to hunt. What if I want to hunt? I'll do the hunting and you do the cooking.
Deal.
Because we're going to talk about that. Because you are a cooking monster. I don't know why you haven't got a cooking show yet. Of all the shitty cooking shows that are on TV nowadays, and what you're doing would like just revolutionize the whole cooking reality TV bullshit.
Because most people that are on television these days are pretty.
Well, you're pretty.
They have to
unique.
They have to have man buns, and they have to have hipster tattoos that are like. No, these aren't hipster. These
tattoos, period, are just hipster these days. Show your head. Show for our video audience. This mofo has almost his entire head tattooed. And how long did that take?
3 sessions of 9 hours.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. And I bet it felt great, didn't it?
Yeah, way back before it was the thing to do. And it's funny because even back when I got my TV show, Spike TV, the Guys Network, was so worried about my appearance. In season 1, you'll see me in like Dickies pants and a polo shirt because they're like, we need to soften your appearance up so you're a little easier to digest.
You're a little easier to digest. And we're going to talk about that. I want to talk about that. And we're going to talk about more. And also, Ton is now with an air gun company, not an airsoft company. And we're going to talk about the difference in the air gun and versus airsoft. Airforce, and they make some of the most badass air guns on the market today, capable of taking down the biggest of game. We're talking like 50K. Yeah, he's holding one up now. Yeah, one of those. So we're going to talk about that too. And then we're going to get to your questions a little bit later on in the show. But first, I hear something coming in, Ton. It's what we call the Talking Lead jackwagon train run by the Gunny. Arlie Ermy is bringing that train in the afterlife. So, Gunny, bring that train in.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead jackwagon of the week, so brace yourself, baby.
All right, the train has stationed, and we've got a few jackwagons that we want to take care of this week. And oh, by the way, Leadheads, if you've got nominations for jackwagons, send those to me, talkinglead@gmail.com, and I will read them on the air during our segment here. Don't message me on Instagram or Facebook. Email them, talkinglead@gmail.com, and put in their jackwagon nomination. So I'm going to start with our guest, Ton, because Ton has a couple of jack wagons that he wants to run under the train. Who you got, Ton?
Dude, it's been brutal. One is a long time coming, and it's a group of people in general.
All right.
And this group of jack wagons, I mean, for the love of God, this group makes me question my stance on the abortion.
So,
I mean,
talk about that Instagram post that you did that brought this up recently.
We were out at the lockdown event at a gun site, posting just video. It was posted videos of the secure wall and us shooting the shotguns. And this jack wagon leader decided to post, "I don't like guns. They kill people." I absolutely despise these people. And I had to go on there and explain to her that the gun did not kill this person or people in general.
Never been a gun in history.
No, and I try to be polite. I said, a gun has never loaded itself, has never pointed itself at somebody, never pulled the trigger, and never killed anybody. Just like a fork has never made anybody fat, just like her haircut has never made her a bitch, her attitude has never made her pretty. And we're
just assuming because of the name. I mean, this is a troll. This is some troll that got on there to get a rise out of you, and it worked. You fell for it.
And I get these people. I do a simple post like, "Hey, check out this badass gun. Guns kill people." No, they don't. Guns, and my wife would laugh at me too. I'm like, I did this post a long time ago before this was when my first Instagram got shut down.
The first one?
Yeah.
You're now on your 10th.
Yeah, this is my third and my second YouTube. I did a post where every day, I think I was at 2.5 years, I said my gun has still not got up, and I'd put ammunition out. I said my gun has not got up and killed anybody in so many days. And I would take a picture of it every day, and I would show pictures of the door unlocked, and I'd show pictures of the bullet right next to it, and I'd put the magazine right next to it, like staging it so the gun had every opportunity. Then I did a video where I loaded it and laid it on the table.
That's awesome.
And waited for the gun to shoot something, and the gun didn't do it. It took 2 years. Then they finally deleted my account.
They did. That would be awesome to do one of those, those live cams that stay on 24/7, and do that to a gun, and just have a gun with the ammo and the magazine and everything that it needs to load itself and to shoot itself.
Yeah. It was.
We're on year 10 now, and it hasn't changed.
Yeah, you got
ants and rats and shit crawling over it,
cobwebs and spiders.
Yeah, you can see the rust starting to build up on it.
And I go through this at least once a month, explaining to people the common denominator is humans. Humans put the fork in their mouth. Humans are the assholes. Humans pull the trigger, but no one wants to blame the human. Everybody wants to blame the tool, the object.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they don't blame cars, do they?
Yeah.
They don't blame cars.
Pen can't write itself. I mean, a bottle of liquor can't force itself into your mouth and get drunk and force you to get in that car and force you to put the key in and turn it and drive off.
Yeah.
The human. But no.
They don't get
People are soft and weak.
I thought that was funny that you fell for that, though, because obviously it's just some sort of troll because I get those all the time. I get just to get a rise out, I just ignore them.
Oh no, I'll go full bore. I will take. I'm having a cigar on the patio.
I've got friends that I know have like alternate accounts, and they do shit like that just to fuck with me.
You might remember this. Back in the day, we had these programs that you can send people emails, and it looked like live ants crawling out of their email. It looked like a virus that takes over their computer screen.
Yeah.
On my first Instagram, I had one of my buddies that would troll me just to get me tuned up. So I sent it to him and his wife, and just kept like blasting him on one of the email flyers where just every couple hours it sends them an email, and every time they'd click a link, it would just look like ants, and they'd have to shut down their computer. He got so mad at
funny.
me. Oh shit!
What happened? Your lights go off? You just blew your power, dude.
No. There. Again.
All right, that's a good jack wagon. I like that. All right, I've got a jack wagon, and it's kind of two jack wagons because I think the TSA in themselves are jack wagons. This is a big group of jack wagons. You know, there might be one or two that aren't complete just bumbling retards, but this lady recently, and you guys may have seen this, and you go to TSA's Instagram, and it's probably on the news too. You've seen it. And I didn't know this, but you can bring food and stuff on the plane, like with your carry-on, as long as it's packed in ice. I thought you couldn't bring food, you know, on the plane at all, any form or fashion, but apparently it's okay. So this lady packed up a chicken, in you know, a cooler of ice, and was going through the TSA. And this is I'm going to read TSA's post first because they're trying to be very clever with it, and they're jack wagons for this post that they did here too. You'll see how ignorant it is. So here's the thing. There's a personal foul here, FOWL. So they're starting off kind of setting you up with their whole thing. The plot chickens as we barrel our way closer to Thanksgiving. For us, it's a time to be thankful that our officers are always working around the clock to keep you safe. Take, for instance, this hen you believe it. Hen, like can you believe it? Hen you believe it. Found at Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood International Airport. We hate to beak it to you here, but stuffing a firearm in your holiday bird for travel is just a waste of time. See what they're doing?
That's a whole bunch of bad puns.
This idea, they don't stop. This idea wasn't even half baked. It was raw, greasy, and obviously unsupervised. The only roast happening here is this poor packing choice. Whether you like it or not, there are rules for traveling with guns and ammunition, so don't wing it. Roast over the proper packaging info through the link in our bio. So this lady stuffs her chicken with a gun. She's trying to smuggle a gun in her raw chicken. You know how let me share my screen. Here's a picture of it. Screen share. So.
Are you kidding?
There's a picture. So she's got it wrapped, I guess, in like paper or something. That's the grip. And then she's got it shoved into, where you put the stuffing.
Yeah.
In a chicken. But that's all we've got on it so far. Don't know what she was trying to do or anything like that. There's no background to it. But double jack wagons here. The lady trying to get the gun in the chicken. And then TSA with their idiotic pun post there.
Dude, yeah, that's, let's be honest, bro. Don't get me wrong. There's some people, some TSA agents are pretty badass. I've met in the amount of time I've traveled and just the amount of times I've traveled. I've met some pretty cool TSA agents that actually have their shit together. Then there's other TSA agents that are just an absolute nightmare. I mean, you could just tell.
I'm going to say the majority.
Yeah. And it's brutal. You'll run into these people. Like, I was coming back from the Indianapolis SHOT Show. Now, Indianapolis NRA. You know those 30 millimeter chunks of silver? It looks like a 30 millimeter round.
Yeah.
It's a kilo of silver.
Yeah.
I purchased one. I was like, okay, I thought that was really, really cool. I had purchased one, and I put it in my carry-on luggage. I'm like, you're not going to check a kilo of silver. But don't get me wrong, this is long enough ago where it was, I think when I purchased it, it was like $14 an ounce.
Right.
So I have it in my bag. Going through TSA, this lady stops me. And all of a sudden, she hits this alarm, and everybody comes running up, like absolute panic. We have live ammunition.
Live ammunition?
And she sets it down and asks me to step to the side, and she's like, oh, you can't have this. You could be going to jail right now. What is this? I said, it's a 1 kilo chunk of silver. So you don't understand. It looks like an explosive.
You don't understand. It looks like an explosive.
It looks like an explosive. Okay. I said, it's a chunk of silver. She's all, it's in the shape of a projectile.
Mm-mm.
And me being so calm and understanding, I said, lady, are you listening to yourself? And she's like, what's that supposed to mean? I said, because if you are, you're going to realize how stupid you sound.
Oh.
That didn't make it any better.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No, now she's determined.
Now out came the threats.
It's
I'm going to throw you in jail. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Oh, you're going to go to jail for so long. You're never going to fly. You're going to go on the no-fly list. And, I mean, every bit of her, like, low-rent education went in. And, I mean, she even went as far as called the local law enforcement.
Hopefully some of them called her out on this and put her in her place. And
when the bomb squad showed up to dispose of the explosive while I am being detained 45 minutes later, detained.
Oh my gosh. Like
you're
in
not
cuffs?
Under arrest. You're not under arrest, but you're being detained for your own safety.
Your own safety.
They put me aside, and they had these guys come and take it, put it in a box, a chunk of silver. It is a chunk of silver in a box, and carefully put it over there. Called law enforcement. They had a piece of explosive ordnance. They come over. We're off on another side of the office by then. Everything's going. Law enforcement show up. These guys in suits come in, and I'm in a little room sitting there.
Right.
And well, what do you have? What is it? I said, it's a 1 kilo chunk of silver in the shape of a 30 millimeter anti-tank round. He said, excuse me? I said, yes, sir. It's a chunk of silver, 1 kilo chunk of silver in the shape of a 30 millimeter anti-tank round. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? His exact words, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Kicks the door open, and you hear, what the fuck is your problem? Just screaming. And you can see the veins in this dude's neck. And
which I guarantee she picked it up is because they ran it through the x-ray, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So obviously it's a big solid piece of something with no hollow.
And she held it in her hand, and they are yelling at each other.
No, keep going. I'm going to tell you my story on this.
Yeah. And we're sitting there. The door closes, and it's a pretty tight room. When you're in like one of those little holding rooms, it's supposed to be semi-sound resistant. And all you hear is, you get the fuck in my office now. And they're like, who's going to take care of him? Someone get him on the next flight. Get him first class.
What was running through your mind this whole time? Were you like, they're going to steal my silver? This is a ploy for them to steal my silver.
That's what I was thinking. I said, this low rent freaking bitch is going to be swiping my silver. She's doing it to, like, she's going to be keystering it or something and walking out with the chunk of silver.
Right.
And
keystering it.
And I'm like, this shit's not, it's not cheap. I was like, I'm buying this. I was like, oh, this is a cool investment. And I'm like panicked that they're going to walk off with it. They're going to confiscate it, pull some bullshit government law that you can't have it back.
Yeah.
And this, the most non-threatening little guy comes in a uniform, in a local law enforcement uniform, says, Mr. Ton, is that right? I said,
Ton.
yeah, just
close
Ton.
enough.
He's like, is there anything I can get you? He's all, here's your bag and here's your chunk of silver, sir. I really want to apologize. We've booked you on the next flight home, and it's first class, and we have some meals vouchers for you, and I'd like to take you over. And I said, no, bro, it's fine. And we go walking out, and we walk by this office, and you just see this dude just reading this lady the riot act, just like
chewing her ass. Good.
Fucking chewing.
Good.
And I was like, I go out there, we go to walk back through security, and the officer walks me right through that little metal detector with my backpack on now, right back through, over to the airport lounge.
On your way.
Yeah, gets me whatever I want. And I was like, okay. I sat down, ate, had a couple of drinks, and flew home.
There you go. I mean, that they don't normally turn out that way, but
yeah,
good for you. So what I'm holding up is, and a lot of people have these, the 50 cal shells that they convert to bottle openers, pins. So I've got a pin here, and I've traveled with this. I've probably had this thing for, I don't know, at least 10 years, and never had a problem with it. But one time I went through, and it tripped one of the TSA people. They pulled me over to the side, and they're like, "Sir, do you have any firearms or anything in your bag?" I was like, "Well, you just scanned it, so you would know whether I do or not." And I said, I've been to a range event. There may be some, because you never know if some shells fly in your shit or drop off your clothes sometimes, and you're not aware of it. And I was like, there shouldn't be. I checked it very well, but I was upfront and honest with him, told him where I've been, what I've been doing, what I do for a living. He goes, I think you made a major mistake, and you've got a live round in there. I was like, it's completely plausible. I said, but it's not intentional, but feel free. So he pulls it out, and it's this pin, which obviously looks like a pin. It's a 50 shell casing. It's got where it's already been shot there too. And he was like, "Sir, would you take that apart, please?" I was like, "Sure." So, I go through, I unscrew it, take it apart, pull it out, and he's all like watching my every single move, and he's got two other people there around me, and I said, there's nothing in here. Your x-rays would have showed, your gunpowder thingies would have, gone off. And I put it back in there. And he's like, "Sir, I recommend that you not travel with that anymore." I was like, "I've been traveling with this for years, and you're the first person to ever say anything about this. So that ought to say something about you." I said, "I will continue to travel with my pen. And, hopefully I don't encounter more jack wagons like you."
Yeah. Please don't travel with it, because I'm too stupid to know the rules.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, TSA definitely, not all TSA, but
no.
They have, because of those people, it gives the whole organization, a bad reputation.
Yeah. Dude, like I tell people all the time, very few people ever write a good review about a restaurant. Everyone writes a bad review.
Or movie, or whatever it may be.
It's people like, "Oh, that was a great movie, let's move on." Or someone says, "No, what? That absolutely sucked. I hated it. I'm going to go write a review." I was like, if you took the same energy to write the positive stuff, people would have an unbiased, like an actual
be informed
review.
Which sounds a lot like our political system these days.
No shit.
Which, speaking of, while we're recording this, we're like right in the the elections going on, so we don't know what the turnout is, but there seems to be a lot of blue floating around, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share one more thing on this post before we get off of it with the TSA. And I'm looking through the comments, and Sky Firearms made a comment on this TSA post just to add to, and they're encouraging their stupid puns, but this is plucking terrible. We think this person's actions are reprehensible. However, their taste in firearms is impeccable. I guess it's a Sky. I don't know. I don't know how they could tell it's a Sky in that. Maybe there's more pictures. Oh, here we go. There's more pictures. So here's another picture. So they pull it out. And there it is. So yeah, it's a Sky.
Aww.
So free publicity for Sky Firearms there, but what's that saying? Don't let any tragedy go to waste.
Yep.
Kind of deal. So they're trying to capitalize on it. So they're jackwagons for encouraging the stupid puns. Sky Firearms. Sorry if you're listening, Sky, but don't encourage these jackwagons. Don't encourage.
Don't be low rent.
Don't be low rent. Be step above. All right. Enough of the jackwagons. Unless you got any more. You got any more jackwagons?
Dentists.
The dentist. Not your like poor genes or poor hygiene, but the dentist. It's their fault, right?
Dude, I am so, put it this way. I carry dental floss. I even have dental floss with me everywhere I go. I have in my backpack. I have toothbrush in my truck, mouthwash in my truck, a Sonicare pulsing toothbrush, water pick at the house. Genetics, that's a whole nother thing. That's screwed. And I understand you got to make your money. Dentists have to make money. You went to school for what, 6 months in Guadalajara or in Guatemala? Fuck, I don't know.
Right, Panama.
And yeah, and now you're a dental hygienist or whatever, doctor of dental science or whatever it is.
A tooth
Congratulations.
Doctor. You're a tooth doctor.
Yeah, it is very important. I know, but fuck, do you need to make all your money off of every person that walks in the door? I don't mind
making it all on you.
Yeah, I don't mind you owning a yacht. I don't mind you owning the nicest car out there. Just don't make me make all the payments.
Right.
Like I go in, I'm like, dude, I need to get this done. They're, oh, you've had your bridge in for almost 19 years. That's way too long. We need to replace the whole upper pallet and put implants in. I said, all right, how much is that? He's all, $52,000. Go fuck yourself. I'm like,
is there anything wrong with the one you have in? Or is he just saying, we got better technology nowadays. Let's just go in and redo that shit.
I have a cavity underneath the bridge because it's so old, the bridge is wearing out.
I got you.
And I said, okay, I can go back to Slovakia and it's a lot cheaper. Well, we have a lot better technology here. We're the best. And I said, dude, I've heard that. It's a used car salesman pitch.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I said, we can go to these other countries. My wife's from Slovakia. I can get it done for a quarter of the price, but not the quality. We have the best quality. He's on. I want you to know, get what you pay for. I said, I get that, but sometimes you really get screwed on what you pay for.
Yeah. Because doctors aren't driven by the Hippocratical oath anymore. They're driven by the insurance oath.
Yeah. And I'm like, just trying to, and then you don't understand. Your teeth are very important. I said, no, dude, I totally understand. I'm fat. I like to eat. Trust me.
And I like my nicotine.
Yeah. My nicotine in my food. I didn't get this perfect body by not using my teeth. I didn't slurp it through a freaking straw.
So,
dude,
the normal shit that they tell you to do when you're, 2, you do that shit and you're going to have great teeth. Well, it's genetics, that's not what really, is. But obviously it helps by taking care of them, but
it's definitely genetics. Yeah. I mean, I've
never had braces. It's amazing. It's genetics. It's like, working out, you see all these dudes with these like just freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger bodies. And you work out, I've worked out my entire life, and I just, I can't get that. It's just not in my genes.
Dude, no.
So.
No. I'm like, dude, I lift weights every morning. I lift 330 pounds out of bed every morning. Do I look fit? Fuck you. No.
Love it.
You try doing that.
I love it.
The only thing that's nice on me is my calves because they have to carry my fat ass around.
Yeah, and you got some nice artwork on the channel. I want to talk about your tattoos, too. We're going to talk about that, too. But I've got a Leadhead Brigade hero, so let's switch to the heroes. And for our heroes, this comes from, I believe, we are in Georgia. So this is Georgia. And this is a media release from whatever police department this is. Members of Warner Robins Police Department were dispatched on Watson Boulevard in reference to a kidnapping in progress. Officers found that this douchebag, he was 67 years old, had arrived with a victim who's a juvenile and removed the juvenile forcefully from their vehicle and took them into the woods behind the business. Doesn't say which business. This douchebag then threw the juvenile to the ground and began choking them. A witness held the douchebag at gunpoint until officers arrived. So it was just this dude that was there, saw what was happening, took it upon himself to intervene and stop what looked to him to be a wrongful act. Police arrested and charged the douchebag with aggravated assault and cruelty toward a child. The child was turned over to their juvenile department for further follow-up and care. And I'm reading this. You guys can go to The Truth About Guns. It says, armed Good Samaritan stops child abduction outside Georgia Walmart. So it was at a Walmart there.
Go figure.
And then the guy who wrote I don't know who says if their name's on this article. John B-O-C-H, Bach or Bosch, is the author. He says, we all know that using deadly force to defend an innocent third party from death or great bodily injury poses a lot of potential downside for the would-be Good Samaritans. However, seeing someone grab a young child and strangle them seems like one of those scenarios where even low information types can understand that the use of force is both righteous and justified, not to mention laudable. Be careful out there and stay safe. So, another good example of firearms being used for good rather than bad that we don't always hear about or see in the news.
Yeah.
So that's my Leadhead Brigade hero for the week. You got any heroes?
See, I'm stuck. There's a few heroes that just to name one would be difficult. And when you're talking about heroes, there's like, of course, I like firemen, law enforcement, especially task force. When it comes to law enforcement, the task force side, the guys that have to go in the shittiest of situations, make that split decision where they know no matter what they do, they're going to be criticized and gone over by a bunch of fucking jackwagons sitting behind a desk that have never gotten their fucking shoes dirty. And they went in and did a job that no one else wanted to do. And they know they're going to get ran down and just the shit kicked out of them later. And they still do it. Those guys are heroes. Same with fire department. They go into a situation where there's no good way. They're going into a situation they know that it's a bad situation.
They don't know if they're going to come out alive or not, but they're going to go in anyway.
And just those are always heroes I'd like to mention. And people laugh at this, but the fucking lunch lady in all public schools, man. This person shows up, deals with all these little bastards. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have kids in school. My kids are disciplined. My kids say thank you. Say please. If the lunch lady says, would you like some of this? Please, may I have some?
Or no thank you.
Yes, it's that simple.
Yeah.
But like I went to my kid's school right after we got back from the gun sight event with lockdown, and I watched my kids. I went to have lunch with them, and I'm like, oh, that's cool looking. I've watched my boy. He goes over there. Yes, please. Yes, ma'am. And you see this little petri dish of a child walking through, and with its parents, which
its parents,
yeah,
so
and
called.
I'm like, I mean,
no manners.
No, even the parent.
Me.
Like, I want, and just walking. He's all, no, give me more of that, and he's just. I'm like, dude, I want to go smack the taste out of your mouth just because you're so disrespectful to everybody around. Like you're walking.
And the parents aren't correcting him, or they probably did the same thing. But that's where they get it. That's where they get it.
The adult and the child were doing the exact same thing to this poor lunch lady, and she just took it in stride and never missed a beat. Was just so polite. And I know that, okay, not only is she going to have to do this for this one asshole.
She does it all day.
All day, every day. And there's very few people that say thank you. But know what? Thank you, lunch ladies, for dealing with all those fucking jackwagons and assholes, because you are a hero.
Nice.
You feed all these kids that are our future. You rock.
I love that. And not to mention, they probably get to school before anybody else. Because they got to start preparing and cooking and getting all that ready. Because when I was there, I don't know how they do it now, but there was lunch period, so you had one group coming in after the other. Just
yeah, my kid gets there. We drop my son off at 7:00. Gets there a little bit before 7, and he has breakfast.
So
then he goes to class. Then goes and has lunch. Then he has the option of having a snack or something at the end of school.
Yeah.
But I'm like, so that lunch ladies are all freaking day.
I'm surprised you don't send your kids to school with lunch as much as you prepare. If you guys are not following Ton on Instagram, you need to go. It's Ton Jones Official, and just look at the things that he's posting. There's not a post that you have with food that it wouldn't feed 30, 40 people. How many people do you have living at your house?
4. Me and my wife and, 2 kids and 2 dogs. But
it looks like you're cooking for an army every time because you got like 10 hamburgers. I saw the one with the chicken wings that you were doing. There was big freaking thick wings, and you had like 30 of those, and I was like, who is he feeding?
Dude, it's funny because I will actually go through. Let me kick this damn light back on. What the hell?
Is it like a time sensor or something?
It's a time sensor, and it's set to the front door.
So when somebody comes in,
the front door blocked.
I got you.
But no, I did those. They're called lollipop chicken, and it's usually when I'm feeding people, like I'll start cooking, and I don't want to fire up the smoker for 4 pieces of meat.
Right.
I'm like I told my wife, I'm like, I'm gonna cook. And all she does is, dear God.
There's another $500.
Yeah, and I'm like, I cooked some elk up the other day, and she was excited. I said, yeah, I'm gonna cook up some elk steaks, and I'm like, I'll make up some chili. I'm gonna make some elk burgers, and I'm gonna freeze them. And I started cooking when I got home, which was about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I finished cooking around 9. And in between me prepping food for like the rest of the week, I made dinner for everybody and fed the kids at the same time while she was cleaning the house, and I just kept going. I love cooking. That's my stress relief.
So I'm on for our video audience. I'm going to go to Ton's.
Oh, God.
So it is Ton Jones Official. TonJonesOfficial. And So here's an example right here. Some food right here. I don't know. Is that you cooking right here? This one?
I can't see it.
Oh, let me turn the audio on.
You didn't share
Pickled herring
and
fish bait, also known as mackerel.
Oh, you're at a restaurant.
You really liked it, yes. He's a spoiled.
That was a restaurant. That was in another country, wasn't it?
I don't know. I can't see the screen still.
It's small for you. So let me go to those. So here's one right here.
You're not sharing it.
So, yeah, it's shared. You just can't see it, I guess. Chili cheeseburger dogs for dinner last night. There's like a whole 2 packets of dogs. Or 3 or 4. Okay. You got them split open. And, I mean, it just looks delicious. So this is chili cheeseburger dogs. Talk about that.
That's a hot dog stuffed with, I think that was
hamburger meat. You got a hot dog stuffed with hamburger meat.
Hamburger meat, and you grill it, but I think I used Axis meat on that one, ground Axis. And what you do is you have a hamburger, hot dog, grilled together. It's a hot dog stuffed with hamburger, grilled, covered in chili, then doused with cheese on a hot dog bun. So you have your chili cheeseburger, your chili cheese dog, all in one happy little dish.
You got meat stuffed with meat, covered with meat. You're my new favorite person.
Dude, and then you garnish it with cheese.
Oh my gosh. And is this something that you created, or did you see this done somewhere? I have never seen hot dog stuffed with beef.
Oh, hell. I think the first time I did that, I was back in high school.
But look at all the food, and it's just 4 people. What do you do with all the extra food? That's why I'm like, you're cooking for your kids for the week. You're sending this to school with them for them to eat, or are you inviting the neighbors over? Or you got some
when my neighbors see the smoker going, they pretty much invite themselves.
Oh, I don't see why they wouldn't. This is unreal. So here's one. Here's another one. This is when the family gets together, the cooking gets amazing. It's like you're grilling some steaks here.
What is it? Slow motion?
Yeah, slow motion. You're on the grill. You got about, I don't know, 30 pounds of steak, and then you've got all the trimmings that, I mean, you could feed an army here.
That was my grandpa's 91st birthday. We celebrated grandpa's 91st, my mom's 70th, my brother's 40th, my 44th, my aunt's 65th. Half the family was born in August.
So this makes sense. This makes sense that you would make this much food. But you do this all the time. Every time I see your grill going, it's like he's feeding an army. Here's the one with the smoked bologna.
Dude, that's smoked bologna, bro.
I love bologna. Dude. I love frying it. I've never tried grilling it, though, so I'm going to try that.
I will tell you the hint. There it is. Okay. Yeah. When it goes to bologna, if you're smoking it, it's perfect, because what you'll do is you get it smoked, let it sit on there for a long time. Low and slow, you'll see it separate, it cooks, it stays warm. Then what you do is you move it and you crank your smoker up really, really hot. Get it grilling hot, like 400 degrees, and then sear it and flip it. And it gives it that nice little glazed crust. Slice that sucker, that's happiness.
That does look good. So how did you get into the food, into the cooking? Because it seems like you really got some skills here.
Well, growing up, we were broke as fuck. People talk about government cheese.
Yeah.
I was so broke, we knew what government cheese was. I mean, my dad worked my father was military. I mean, we would get our rations. We'd get a bag of beans, a bag of rice, loaf of bread. I mean, out in the middle of the desert, we would get literally military family rations. We were broke. Cans of cheese. And I remember it was like top ramen, Spam, just anything and everything. And then every once in a while we'd be like doing good. My dad would get enough stuff. He'd cook up some amazing like deer stew, enchiladas. My mom would cook up some stuff that was pretty good.
So your mom wasn't quite the cook. Is that what you're trying to say?
She had her specialties.
Mm-hmm.
My father was really good at cooking, and I saw how he enjoyed it. So when I went off on my own and I got past the living off a top ramen and Taco Bell packet stage, and we did this game where we called it was like refrigerator roulette. We would open the refrigerator, everybody would grab an item without telling each other. There was like 6 of us living in the house when we all went out on our own.
Right.
Everybody would grab an item without telling each other what it was. Then we'd all come out and show each other what we had, and we had to make a meal out of whatever each person grabbed. So we got really creative with cooking.
Was that like for your own meal? Is whatever you grabbed, then that was your meal, or is it like you shared it with everybody?
That's the community. All of us would grab something out of the refrigerator or the pantry or wherever we could find, and we would cook with whatever items we grabbed. And we'd have to make a meal out of it. It was literally
food roulette. Yeah.
Yeah.
Potluck.
And we would make stuff, and they would usually leave it up to me to cook. And we learned to cook all kinds of stuff. Biscuit bombs, where it'd take literally biscuits, flatten it out, put eggs, put stuff inside. We were so cheap and broke. We would go get packets of biscuits and the gravy, sausage gravy, and we'd make batches of it. Anything left over, we'd spread into ice cube trays and freeze it.
Freeze the gravy.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, we were broke, bro. We'd freeze the
Nothing
gravy
went to
in ice
waste.
cube trays, and we're like, okay, there's leftover chunks of bacon from when we cooked bacon. We'd put it inside there, and then we're like, okay, well, we're down to a can from the 99-cent store discount shelf because they've already turned and expired, and the tube's starting to swell. They're now on sale for 50 cents. You're getting a whole thing of flaky biscuits. Okay, we're going to take those, go home, flatten them out, take that frozen ice cube of gravy, put it in the center, wrap it around it, and bake it in the oven. Now you got a biscuit with gravy inside.
Wow.
Dude, you come up with
just
shit
experience. Yeah. You know, I did that too. I had 2 older brothers, and my dad traveled, so he was gone all the time. So during the week, he wasn't there, and my mom worked full time. So when we would get home from school, you know, boys, we're hungry.
Yeah.
You know, we want to eat something. So we did the exact same thing that you're talking about. Is there would be bread, there might be some leftover pizza sauce, there might be, you know, and we would just start combining stuff and cooking it, and you know, we'd throw we're shish different spices, with Worcestershire and garlic and Tabasco. You know, we just mix all kinds of, and you know, boys being boys, you know, my older brothers, you know, who's the guinea pig? The youngest, me. It's like, Marty, come here and try this. So I was a little guinea pig, and I would try everything beforehand. And of course, me, you know, I wasn't picky. I had a cast iron stomach. I was like, oh, that's good, that's good, that's good. Then they would try one, and they would eat it, and they would just like start spitting it out. Oh, but yeah, man, that's kind of how, because I love to cook. I love cooking, and I love trying different things. I like mixing this with that to see what it's going to taste like, because, you know, in my mind, I know what that tastes like, and I know what that tastes like, and it's like, I bet that would be good together. And I'm constantly trying different things. I probably never eat the same thing twice And if it's something that I like, I don't write the recipe down. I just remember the main things that I put in it. And, it's always a little different because I don't get the same measurements or anything like that.
Don't ever try that fish from Sweden.
Swedish fish. Talk about that.
That's just wrong, bro.
What is it? Is it that
okay,
like fermented crap?
That can of death and rotten ass. I went over to the Netherlands to visit like 2020 Supply, our distributor for air guns and crawl. And I'm over there. I'm doing a meet and greet and a signing at crawl. And they give me this can of Schiströmming. It's fish that's fermented. And while it's fermenting and rotting, they put it and can it. And as it's still finishing rotting and fermenting, the can swells and bulges. And when it swells, they say, it's done and ready to eat.
Okay.
The deal was if I can eat, I think it was 3 fish, 3 of those rotten herrings, I would get a thermal. I could power through it. I've eaten the world's
who are you
hottest
to turn down
bear.
a dare, right?
I was like, dude, it's on. Bullshit. On the full video, I take this dude's knife, I puncture the side of the can, and this shit splatters out.
Oh.
The cameraman goes, pukes all over the floor, and he's like 6 feet away from me, just pukes everywhere.
Oh my God.
While he's puking, the other guy, one of the field reps, starts puking just from the smell, and I have it all over my arm and shirt. I'm like cutting this can, I'm dry heaving, I'm like, ugh. Cut this can open, and I go to pick it up, and it's so slimy, the outside layer starts sloughing off. It's like rotting and degrading inside this juice. So I said, screw it. I pick it up, I bite off, instantly start chewing it, and it, almost lost it just thinking about it.
Are you like pitching your nose while you're?
No, I'm covered in the juice and the oil. I swallow the first bit and I dry heave it back up, and it sticks right here.
Right in the throat.
I swallow it back down. I go to take another bite. I start chewing. I throw up again. I had to pull it out. I got shit drooling off my face. And I'm like, okay, I got one piece down. I throw it back in, and I start to chew it again. And I hit the little like blood vein, and this like tar, mushy shit hits the back of my throat. I'm done.
It's like an episode of Fear Factor.
Dude, it was so fucking horrible. So get rid of it, chuck it out. And I look at the dog. The dog goes to run over to see what food I threw out. The dog stops like 2 feet from it, turns around and runs.
Then even the dog
wouldn't eat it.
It's like, what are you doing, man? So I think this is it right here. I think this is it on your Instagram.
Oh, there it is. That's fucking horrible.
Oh my gosh. That just looks nasty. So is it raw fish?
Yeah, it's raw.
Raw fermented fish, and they actually eat this crap there. Look, so here you are. I'm going to turn the sound on. You won't be able to hear it.
Already. Oh, there he goes.
You're vomiting while you're chewing it.
He's pushing through. No, he's not. He got a little bit more of emotional support.
Oh my God. You're just like,
yeah, here he goes. Or not.
I bet you burned that shirt, didn't you?
I think crawly is going to pay more for the Airforce Airguns.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that just looks nasty. I mean, apparently this is like a delicacy there because they can it. They actually can it and brand it because it's got like a company brand on that thing.
Oh yeah, it's horrible, bro. It's
who would have thought to do that and think, let's eat it?
It is the weirdest thing. It's been around forever. What they don't tell you is the way you're supposed to eat it is when you crack that can open, you're supposed to rinse it off in water, in salt water, dry it off, pack it with like vegetables and herbs, wrap it in a flatbread and eat it that way. But even that way is not going to do any good.
No, I can't imagine. But then getting all that nasty juice. So they actually drain it.
Yeah, because all it is fermented and rotted
fish meat.
It's rotten fish guts and juice. It's horrible.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. No, that's a Fear Factor episode right there.
Yeah, dude, it's brutal. It's not natural.
Now,
bro.
if there was $50,000 on the line, would you have stomached through it?
I don't think I could have. I tried.
Your body just wouldn't take it, huh?
No, it's literally. I mean, there was a thermal on the line, a rifle thermal scope. I was like, I can do this. No.
Good Lord, man.
I tried. And even after throwing up in my mouth and swallowing it back down and going for another bite.
You're like, this ain't worth it. This ain't worth it. Fuck a thermal.
I was like, fuck no, I'll figure something out.
Yeah, I'll use a flashlight. Hell.
Yeah. I'll get a bigger gun.
Oh, man. So you get to travel quite a bit with the company that you're with now.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit too. But as far as the food goes, you're into hunting also. You do a lot of hunting.
Love hunting.
And, we're going to talk a little bit of air guns here too. And you're hunting with the air guns there. So let's talk about some of the, I guess we should probably talk about the difference between an air gun and airsoft. It'd be a good time to do that. Because I did unintentionally, I threw the airsoft out there, dirty word, and I got tongue lashed for it. So educate us on the difference between an air gun and an airsoft gun.
Airsoft, people go out and shoot each other with these little itty bitty plastic BBs running off of green gas or CO2, and they're 100 feet per second. It's little 4-5 grain plastic projectile that stings. It hurts.
Mm-hmm.
We shoot pre-charged pneumatic slugs.
And talk about pneumatic. What is that?
Yeah. We are...
As he's reaching back for one of his rifles there.
This is a 45, a 457 Texan. This container holds 3,600 PSI. And
of pressure.
Shoots,
of air pressure.
This 3,625 PSI of air. And it shoots that chunk of lead. This gun produces 750 foot-pounds of muzzle energy.
Wow.
Where an airsoft produces about 4 to 5 foot-pounds of muzzle energy.
Big difference.
It's the difference of getting hit with a Nerf gun versus a Mack truck.
Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's getting shot with a real bullet, real gun.
Yes, these are actual bullets that come out of here. They're made for hunting, big game. I mean, there's not an animal on the earth that this cannot take down. I mean, they've hunted all the African big game with them. We've taken buffalo with them. We've had customers go hunt hippo with them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and you're seeing more and more people go to the air guns.
Yes,
and for their hunting versus the traditional rifle, the gunpowder guns.
Yeah. And with Airforce, like we have a 50 caliber air gun it looks the same as just the barrel and the valve cap. There's there's a few internal differences.
Right.
And that produces 850 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. So the power's there to do whatever you want. But what is nice about an air gun is you don't have to worry about the projectile traveling way beyond. Like if you're shooting, you got a target or an animal out at 100 yards, and let's say you miss, you don't have to worry about an object 1,000 yards away being hit. It's the length of travel is a lot less for that projectile. It sheds velocity a lot quicker.
Right. And you have to worry about over penetration or anything like that.
You can punch a hole through a large game animal at close range. It has the energy, but once it has passed through your target, your animal, it's usually find the projectile within feet on the other side, not within hundreds of yards.
And another benefit that you're going to be getting is noise. A lot quieter shooting one of these.
Is a moderator. That is the sound suppression system for the Texan SS.
So a suppressor.
Yes.
Or silencer. The proper term is a silencer.
It is a silencer, but it's built onto the gun.
So it's integrally suppressed.
And it makes it hearing safe. Without it, it sounds like a 12 gauge.
Oh, really? It's that loud?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
That's why you're going to have to get your ass down here, and we're going to have to shoot.
We need to do that, definitely. Yeah. So I've shot them before, and I guess I was wearing ear pro because I was at it's like a normal range. So there was other shit going on that I just I kept it on, and I don't guess I really noticed how loud they may have been, but as loud as a 12 guy, I didn't realize they were that loud. Wow.
Yeah, it depends on the brand and who makes it. Mm-hmm. We have the most powerful line of production air guns. There is one other gun that's out there now that is a 72 caliber.
72.
But
holy shit.
It is considered a production gun, even though they drop one or two a month.
Yeah. Not a high demand kind of deal, I would
No, and you're spending $4 or $5 a shot.
So how big is a 72 caliber? It's bigger than a 50, obviously.
Yeah, it's just shy of 3/4 of an inch.
Wow. So it's like a mortar. You're shooting a mortar out of that thing.
It's ridiculous. And then let me set this one back up here. Then we have my competition rifle.
So what are we looking at here?
This is my 25 caliber rapid air. This is a precision air rifle for bench rest tournament. We shoot targets that are 25 targets out at 100 yards, and our center of the target is, if you look at the cap, imagine putting a pellet through that hole at 100 yards. So
he's showing for our listening audience a pin, a writing pin, the cap of it. So imagine the diameter of your pin cover that goes over your writing pin.
We have to hit, that's the bullseye,
at 100
of those at 100.
Wow. And will one charge get you through those 25 shots?
Yes. We have to do it. You're not allowed to refill. And people ask, well, how accurate is that card? We did a competition with Pyramid Air where it was called the Sick of COVID Challenge. Split playing cards at 50 yards.
Oh, wow. So that's shooting them flat.
Yeah, it's very, very surgically accurate. I mean, we have guys that can pop aspirins off the top of balloons at 100 without popping the balloon. I mean,
wow. Yeah, I've seen a couple. There's a couple of, I guess they call themselves trick shooters that are using the air guns, and I've seen the aspirin one and a couple other ones. But yeah, I mean, those things are surgically precise. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, we were goofing off one day when I was testing this for the first time. Our magazines have 12 rounds in them. That's our mag. And I had 3 magazines. And I was shooting. There was a 50 cal stuck in our target. 50 cal slug, which is just a little bit bigger than our 45. And you can see the back of it. So I shot it. I'm sitting there shooting the back of that slug with that air gun. I dumped 3 mags into it.
Oh, wow. Stacked them.
And that was pyramiding out the back of the target.
So what he's showing us for our listening audience is he's got all his slug. Do you call them slugs?
Yeah, these are actually pellets.
Pellets. So your pellets.
Yeah.
Where he is just like Robin Hooded. I don't know how many are there. 6 or 7.
36.
There's 36 that he's put pellet in pellet in pellet in pellet in pellet in pellet in pellet. I do that 36 times.
Yep.
That's remarkable. And how long did it take you to do that in between shots? Are you? I mean, have you got like a time limit between shots that you got to do, or you can take as much time as you want?
We were goofing around. When we were downrange, that's 30, 40 yards downrange. We couldn't see it, so I'm just shooting. I just kept shooting the back of this other slug that was in the target. So you can't really see because it's all silver. It's just lead.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm shooting it. And I finish it. I'm like, we're walking up. I mean, the guys were walking up and we're laughing. I was like, what the hell's wrong with the target?
It's like you didn't hit the target at all.
And they were talking shit. They're all, dude, you missed. You missed. I was like, shit, dude. I'm like, oh, starting to panic. We walk up there and it's sticking out. I said, oh, yeah, I meant to do that.
Like, take that, mofos.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I didn't realize the accuracy of those things. And I guess, because you've got less, basically no muzzle rise, you got no recoil. There's stuff we've designed for them, like. Now, what is that? What am I looking at there?
That is a weight system for the competition guns with the vibration dampener shock absorber.
Holy crap.
4.5 pounds plus the shock absorber to take the shock out of the gun when you pull a trigger.
And you put that where? You got one with it on it? So that goes toward the front of the gun, basically on your handguard. Is that what it is?
No, there's
I can't see. You're too far away.
I know. Give me a second. You're rushing me.
Come on, man. Please and thank you. My God, it looks like you put jet propulsion on it. Okay, so it goes underneath the air tube on this particular model.
Yeah, it goes on the Arca rail. There's a Picatinny rail down here underneath.
Okay, so it just basically adds weight to hold it.
Weight, and it takes the shock out. And we sell them for ERL shooters also, the long-range shooters for centerfire rifles.
Yeah.
Because that dampener right there, when you fire it, it's a shock absorber. It takes the vibration out of the gun.
Huh. Amazing. But you wouldn't think there'd be that much anyway. But if it's as loud as a 12 gauge on some of those.
Yeah, because this one you're shooting, the bigger guns, the Texans, you're shooting on average, like people are shooting 350, 400 grain slugs when hunting.
Yeah.
With that 25 cal, you're shooting 300 and, you're shooting a 33.95 grain slug at 930 feet per second. So just subsonic.
Mm-hmm.
That one's hearing safe, but still not quiet. That's
Now,
why you throw the moderator on it.
So you've got a silencer on yours.
Yeah, I got a can on there right now. For how long, we don't know.
Was it you that was telling me about the guy who got trumped up by the ATF for buying the air gun silencers?
But someone did get popped. We're not really popped. Someone is dealing with that now. We don't know how it's going to turn out. We had air gun moderators, suppressors have always been this kind of gray area for a long time, where it's not really legal or not really illegal. It's not made for air gun use, but humans, dude, when it comes to jack wagons, humans in general, bro, dude, for the love of God, man.
They just mess it up for everybody, don't they?
Dude, seriously, because I mean, we have on these air gun suppressors for air gun use only,
right?
And it's just, if we use them in competition, so when you're shooting like youth sports, we try to get kids in there, and like you're shooting, we have a lot of kids.
But they're not made for real guns either. They won't fit on a real gun.
No.
And I say real gun. Those are real guns. The air guns are real guns, but it won't fit on a centerfire.
Centerfire or rimfire. It's not made for either one.
Yeah.
And it can do damage, and it can actually harm the gun and
the operator,
shooter, and it damages everything.
Yeah.
But what we're running into now is jack wagons
that are modifying somehow.
Yeah, what they did is they people have taken them, modified them, and gotten in trouble. Not that they've used them. Then law enforcement have gone and tested them, even though they test it and it blows up. I've never done it myself. I have real suppressors.
Yeah.
I have done the paperwork. I've got my.
But you know that these aren't made for center fire or rim fire, and that damage will occur even if you try to modify it.
The centers are made of plastic.
Right.
I'm not putting a bullet and hot gas to that sucker. It will explode. But because some jackwagon went and made an adapter, finagled it, duct taped it, super glued, used staples, whatever they did, now they're trying to say, oh, it can be used on firearms.
But it can't.
It can't. Even though the same guy that got busted also had Fram oil filters and soda pop bottles.
Yeah.
I said, go after Coca-Cola and Fram oil filter, then, you
right
idiots.
So now they're trying to come after the air gun market for moderators, silencers, suppressors that are made for that. So they're looking at trying to make those with a tax stamp also.
Yep, anything they can get their grubby little dick skinners on, as long as they can get $1.
Right, and that is the core of it. It has nothing to do with the use of or the product itself. It's all about revenue.
Yeah,
it's all about generating revenue.
They really don't care about
job security and justification.
Oh yeah,
because let's face it. I mean, suppressors, silencers should be legal. And they are legal. There should be no tax stamp involved with them, because for the most part, they're doing more good than anything. Hearing protection, that's the main thing. Noise pollution, being courteous to your neighbor when you're out at the range and you're shooting. So it's completely ludicrous that we have to pay this tax stamp. Not only for the suppressors, but for short-barreled rifles, machine guns, any of that.
Yeah, and to have someone tell you that they're out there just making sure everybody's safe, that's bullshit. They're out there to make a buck. That's like a public defender out there saying, oh, we just wish there was no crime. Bullshit. You want more crime because you want job security.
Absolutely. That's exactly right. It's job security, and that's they're just trying to justify their existence, which they don't need to be in existence.
No, it's greed. It's just a bigger fool. What's up, Flicker?
Did you see my lights flashing?
Yeah, I
think the ATF is tapped in, man. The government is listening to this conversation.
I was like, hell yeah, you finally flashed me.
So, the integrally suppressed ones versus the, just the regular ones. What kind of price difference are we talking on those?
Like the Texan right now, the way it's set up, actually we have a holiday sale going on. I think they're just under.
Black Friday's coming up.
Oh shit! I hit a button. Where'd it go? Damn it! This is why we can't have nice things, man.
I know you're fat fingering stuff and breaking it all the time, dude.
Yeah,
what is wrong with you? So you also do pistols too, I would assume. Do you do pistols? Or is this rifles?
We do one that's similar. It's called a Talon P. It's not really a pistol. It's just a shorter version. It still has an external air tank on the back.
Yeah.
Those are single shots. Those are utility guns. You can see them all at airforceairguns.com.
There you go.
But we have
let me pull
pull that sucker up. Pull that sucker up.
Let me pull that website up here. I got to put my microphone.
Yeah, I would attempt to do share screen, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, you probably shouldn't touch anything because you'll jack it up. You'll break it.
Amen.
Let's go to
Airforce
Facebook.
Airguns.com.
So, also on Facebook, If you guys go to Airforce Airguns, you can find that. And then if you're having troubles like me, here's a link to their website on their Facebook page. So here we go. Here's the website, airforceairguns.com. And this is a big business. This is a lot bigger business than I had realized, because there are a bunch of companies in the airgun business. Even your big gun manufacturers like Beretta, Browning, who is another? Remington is in it. Heckler and Co. Or Koch, how do you say it?
H&K.
H&K is the best way. Ruger is in it. SIG is in it. Springfield Armory is in it. Walther, Stoger, Winchester. I mean, all your big companies. And then you've got all these, specific airgun companies like Air Force, Crossman, Daisy, are in this. So, I mean, there's a bunch. This is a lot. This is got to be $1 billion, multi-billion dollar industry now.
But we're the only ones that are made in America. Yeah.
Are you really?
Yep.
Only airguns made in America. Okay.
And we're made in Texas.
And the heart of America, Texas.
Yeah.
So here it is, Air Force. So for our viewing audience here watching the video, they are having a 20% off on the Texan big bore rifles. So you can get you a nice big 20% off.
And 25% off on our small bore utility line.
There you go. And what do you call it, utility?
It's 177, 20 cal, 22, and 25.
Okay.
They are the small bore for small game, rabbits, small game hunting,
varmints,
target survival rifle, pretty much anything that's under 110 foot-pounds of muzzle energy.
Gotcha. So is the Texan like your flagship rifle?
That's the big bore. That's the Texans, the big bores, and those are the big game hunting, take down hogs, deer, buffalo, elk, moose.
Ooh, damn, these are more expensive than I thought they were going to be. So we're looking around $1,200 on sale. Normally they're closer to $1,400. Yeah. And this is the integrally suppressed one that has the acoustic baffle moderator is what you got. And are you purposely calling them moderators instead of silencers just to keep eyes off of you?
Yes.
Okay. I get that. I mean, I get it. I understand that. Definitely.
When you refer to it as a moderator, people that are in the industry are like, oh, sweet, I understand. When you say, hey, it's a suppressor, Joe Jackwagon's like, Karen moment. It's bad.
Karen moment. Yeah, exactly. But you've got anywhere from a 25 up to a 50 cal on the Texan.
Yeah, 257, 308, 357, 457, and a 510.
510, nice. And this is the one that's integrally suppressed.
Correct. So that comes in two models. The SS model, which is a little bit shorter, and the LSS, which is longer.
Yeah. And you've got a thing for education. So you've actually got a page for the terminology on what everything means. So air rifle. An air gun, also air rifle or air pistol, is a rifle or pistol that fires a projectile by means of compressed air or other gases. Most air guns use metallic projectiles as ammunition. Where we were differentiating airsoft. Airsoft uses plastic, and it's a lot less powerful, I guess would be.
Yeah.
Because people shoot each other with airsoft guns. They go around and shoot each other. You don't want to shoot each other with an air rifle.
Nope. That's bad juju.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Types of coatings. This is interesting. Because I was talking Cerakote with some guys yesterday at Royal Range. and the benefits of Cerakoting and all this. They're actually Cerakoting motorcycle parts now.
Yeah, we've one of the guys that has Cerakoted our air guns for a while has been doing race car engine parts, motorcycle parts, aircraft parts. Like some of our parts are Cerakoted. Here's a term for you.
Okay.
Ferritic nitrocarburization. Black nitride.
Okay. What are you doing with that technology?
That is a coating in a hardening process where you black nitride something. It actually surface hardens a material. Some of our internal parts are black nitrided or ferritic. Yeah,
Carbonized.
Yeah, the ferritic carburization. Yeah,
is that in your terminology?
I don't even think our guy up front put that in there because that's worse than
you couldn't even spell it.
Sauce.
Worcestershire. Yeah, he doesn't even have it on your term. You should say, hey, dude, get that on the terminology page, and put the phonetic enunciation of it on there.
It's called black nitride, or.
So what you're trying to say is ferritic nitrocarburizing.
And then when you actually do it, it's ferritic nitrocarburization.
Carburization, yeah. Ferritic nitrocarburization. I got you. So what that is, also known by the proprietary names of Tenifer, Tufferide, Melanite, which I've heard of Melanite, as well as ARCOR. It's a range of proprietary case hardening processes that diffuse nitrogen and carbon into ferrous metals at subcritical temperatures during a salt bath. So it's like going to the spa.
Yeah. Take your gun parts to the spa.
Yeah. But yeah, they do this. Well. They do this with, with your centerfire rifles too. The barrels.
Yep, Ruger's famous for their American. I think it's their Ruger American line. They did a lot of their Creedmoor barrels that way.
Yeah. So it's basically corrosion to prevent corrosion.
Yeah, hardening and corrosion prevention.
Yeah, which we have a great product for that here on the Talking Lead podcast. It's called Seal One. So if you guys want to go to Seal One, go to seal1.com. Use the code LEADHEAD. And you'll get 25% off. I got you.
Want to see something cool?
Yeah. Is this like off the record?
Nope.
Okay.
It's being released any day.
Nice. So here's an exclusive for our lead heads, because this is the show for exclusives. Oh my! Is that a bolt? That is a bolt. So you guys are coming out with a bolt air gun?
Yep.
Nice. And that penetrated that. What is that like?
That's
24 inches
sniper block of ballistic gel. It's 18 inch. It's a 16-inch gel block at 40 yards.
Wow,
dude,
that is nice.
Isn't that pretty?
That is pretty. I love that. So you've got one coming, getting ready to be released. So I had the opportunity to shoot one from another company.
Look at that.
Nice.
That's a whole lot of death.
That's like
put pork on the pavement, bro.
That's like going through a deer longwise. Yeah. That would definitely go through a deer, no problem.
Dude, I had to show you that.
An elk.
I told the boss, this was actually this morning. Instead of getting ready to talk to you, I was setting this sucker up, and the boss was like, "Aren't you supposed to be getting ready for the podcast?" I said, "Yeah, but I want to test this real quick." I said, "And if everything works out and we finalize, can I show him?"
So you shot that this morning?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
sweet.
When you text me,
that's what you were doing?
I was like, "Oh shit! Damn, that's sharp as hell."
Careful.
Dude, why do you think I'm? Dude, this thing's brutally sharp, bro. Like freaking
hell. It looks like it, no doubt.
Well, I wanted the most like medieval arrow possible, Yeah, that's not going to happen.
So
can
you show the gun?
It's still on the range. They took it from me to finish testing. Because I came in to talk to you.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Don't rip your hand trying to get that out. I mean, it looks good in the gel. I like it like that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's.
When's that? When can we expect that? Next year? First quarter next year? End of the month. That's soon. So it'll be ready for Christmas.
Yeah. It's hopefully going to drop. We're hoping Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the first 50. We're going to do probably not 100%. I'm waiting for the final word from the boss. We're probably going to drop 50 this year. And then as SHOT Show, do the big release.
Let's go to, since we're on the air guns, I know there's a lot of questions. Let's go to our listener questions. I mean, because I've got all kinds of questions I got, so they'll probably be asking some of the same here. So as is normal, lead heads, I made a post letting you know that Ton was going to be our guest and all the different things that we're going to be talking about. And air guns was one of the topics, and I think a lot of you had questions related to that. So let's see what we've got here. So as of our recording, this is what I've got here. Oh, and by the way, we're giving away, Ton, show them what we're going to give away. One lucky listener is going to get a Cold Steel SRK custom logoed knife. Limited run. I think we did 100. Yes, we did exactly 100 of these. 100. It's got the sheath. Look at that. That's badass. I like that. Yep. Very cool. So let's see. We'll just start with newest first. Angie Lee 8. I remember the night you did that flame blowing thing in that picture. LOL. So do you know Angie Lee 8?
I think I know who that is.
Okay.
That was out in the middle of the high desert.
So explain your flame blowing, breathing talents. Because you look like you should be in a carnival, like lifting heavy shit and blowing flames.
Funny you say that.
Strong man.
If you go through enough of my Facebook pictures, there's a picture of me at the Getty Center and what we called the Vampire Circus doing fundraisers for childhood cancer with Tom Hanks. I am breathing fire, laying on a bed of nails, and doing all kinds of sideshow performances.
And had you ever done that before, or did you just do it that?
No, I've been doing fire breathing. I saw it when I was in my early teens.
Yeah.
And hanging out with the random people at the tattoo parlor I worked at, going to the tattoo conventions. You met some really cool, freaky people. And I was at one of the Inkslingers Ball in LA. It's a tattoo convention that used to go on. And this lady, I think it was in 94 or 95, showed me, she was eating fire and breathing fire, and she showed me how to do it.
Yeah.
And I got hooked.
So it was all over from there. I've done it once.
It was on.
I've done it one time.
What'd you use?
Actually, I didn't fire breathe. I fire 8.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I didn't do the breathing. I did the eating.
Yeah,
all right. Next question. Old Tennessean. What pellet material is best for hunting? Lead, steel, copper, or some other? Also, shapes. What shapes are best for hunting?
Depending on the gun you're using, most of all, with air guns, it's dead soft lead. And you want to use, I prefer personally, a boat tail hollow point.
Okay.
Or dish-based. There's boat tail hollow point and dish-based hollow point. Dish-based hollow point and a boat tail hollow point. I personally use the boat tail hollow point.
For hunting. specifically. Yeah. So what's the difference in the rounds that you use for competition?
There's no hollow point at all. It is just a round nose
pellet.
Not so much Spitzer. I prefer the round nose. It's a little more forgiving over longer distances. Versus the Spitzer, it can be redirected. At the lower velocity, Spitzer has a tendency to go wherever the fuck it wants, like a golf ball.
All right, next question. This is Flood Munitions. Evan, which Evan is going to be a reality TV star coming up. Apparently, History Channel has started a new marksman TV show that's going to be released this Thursday, which will be November that's tomorrow, the 10th. Called, I made a post. Let me go to my home here. So you guys go support Evan. And it's by the guy Colby Donaldson who used to do the Top Shot is the host.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a legit show. Ultimate Marksman on the History Channel.
Shit.
So you guys, Leadheads, go check that out. Support Evan. He was on our last AK Corner. We had Evan on. So very cool stuff there. So Evan asked, what was your first air gun? Pellet rifles are what helped me get into firearms. I'd like to get into a more serious air rifle setup. What caliber would you recommend? And he's Evan, you said caliper. Caliber. I knew what you meant, though. Come on, if you're going to be a star, you got to check your spelling, man.
No, you don't, bro.
No,
Public school.
You got people.
Got your back.
You got people for that, right?
Yeah, that's what they pay the smart people for. I actually started out, my grandfather bought a 20 caliber Benjamin Silver Streak from Sears and Roebuck.
Do you still have it?
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. That's like history, man.
Yeah, people are like, what's Sears and Roebuck?
Sears and Roebuck? Is that a new company? Is that a new app?
Yeah. Yeah. He bought it out of the catalog in, I think it was the late 50s, early 60s. And it was the late 50s, early 60s. My grandfather purchased it. It was a 20 caliber. He used it up at his property to keep the rabbits out of the garden. And he had 1,100 something acres, 1,174 acres. My dad learned to shoot with it when he was a child because we all were taught to shoot air guns with this pump air rifle. 8 pumps, put in your 20 cal, shoot the pull top oil cans, and you start out at 5 feet. You hit it 5 times in a row. You take 2 steps back. Shoot it again 5 times. Step 2 steps back. If you miss, you start over.
Wow.
Once you had taken 10 steps back total, 10 or which is almost like 20 steps total back, what you do is take you over to the stock tank. You take them big fat marshmallows, toss them into the stock tank, and you take his foot and tap on the water, making little waves.
Move a little bit.
And he teach you to be patient.
Time it.
And if you could pop that marshmallow and shoot that marshmallow, you had 2 tries to shoot that marshmallow. If you hit it, you got to go on your hunting trip with them. If not, you had to start back over.
That is awesome. I love that.
So it got handed down to my father, and then my father handed it down to me, and I want to hand it down to my kids.
So are you teaching them the same 5 steps? And
oh no, I'm worse.
You're worse.
I'm worse.
What are you making them do?
Spinning targets, reactive targets, so there's no questions. Technology is a bitch.
So they got to learn on that old Sears and Roebuck one before they can get a hold of one of your Air Force ones?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
They're learning on them. They're learning. They got to do the pump rifle. It's still, they still have to go through the same crap that I did because it wasn't just learning to shoot and hit the target, it was pointing the rifle in the safe direction, keep your booger picker off the trigger, and it's just overall handling and firearm safety all done with the air gun. And that's how I started. When I got older, the first air gun I purchased on my own was the 25 cal Condor. 25 cal Condor SS, because it had a whole lot of horsepower and you could take small game with it. And then I developed the 25 cal Escape, the survival air rifle. I prefer in the utility line the Escape because it's 25 cal. 25 caliber is my go-to for the small utility line. When it gets to big bores, I like the 45.
Gotcha.
But if he wants more information, he can always reach out to me. I don't care about spelling, unlike other people. And
I got to give him shit if he's going to be a TV star now.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't. I don't give a shit. All right, next question. And I think you know this person. I have a question for him. Tell the story of why his fingers are so jacked up, and does he still contend that that's why Harleywood outshot him at the lockdown event?
That's the love finger for you, brother.
There it is.
Love. I'm not giving you the hate finger.
He did that on purpose for your pleasure. He purposely broke that finger for her pleasure.
Just for him.
Just to get in that prostrate. Yeah, you are jacked up, man. Your fingers are. Is that yours? Don't. Oh! I'm not even going to tell you what he just did. You're going to have to watch the video. Oh my gosh. Does that not hurt?
Not so much anymore.
So does it depend on what you're doing, which way you turn that?
No, it goes either direction. It just pop it that way, pop it that way.
Hey, he's popping his finger like all kinds of crazy circus stuff. He's doing circus tricks right now. Yeah. So
back in the day, I had an alligator bite that finger. You could see where they had to sew my finger, cut my hand open.
Yeah. See the chomp marks.
That finger back on. So that finger back on. And so that finger back on. Those three fingers got totally destroyed.
So, and that's something else we got to talk about is your affection or affinity towards the creepy crawlers. And we're going to get into that too. Let's go through these questions. Harleywood being a smartass.
He got lucky because, he just got lucky.
He just got lucky. I mean, we'd never shot these guns before, you know. They hadn't been sighted in. We had to quickly sight them in.
He was all bundled up and warm while they didn't have clothing in adult size.
You were wearing shorts. So, Nikolai, he's got a new name on here. He's changed his name again. Nikolai Alpenap, which used to be AKM Archer, who's Aura. We know who you are, Aura. Quit changing your name. Big bore air guns, ? What is a realistic distance to harvest large game with?
100 yards.
Not beyond?
It can go beyond, but that goes to what is the shooter's capability. The gun is capable. What a gun is capable of and what is a shooter capable of are two completely different stories. Don't get me wrong. You don't want to go try to take a buffalo at 300 yards with an air gun. It's just not reasonable. But now you talk about popping a coyote at 200 with a 45. The sheer transfer of energy of a 350 grain slug at 200 yards traveling at just that mass hitting it is still going to kill it. You don't want to try to take a moose because the body mass, you're just going to injure it. 100 yards for large game animals is all day long, and the odds are you're going to have a complete pass through, allowing blood to come out on both ends.
It's the ethical distance is 100.
Yeah, it's the most ethical is 100.
Gotcha.
120, yes, but if you keep telling everybody give him an extra 10 yards, everybody's going to add 40 yards.
Yeah, they're going to add more and more and more.
We say 100 yards.
Fair enough. Brett Bedell, who won our Century Arms BFT AK-47 ton that we gave away. We give away guns on this show, Ton.
Dude.
Gave away a Galil Ace. Oh yeah, we give shit away. Oh yeah, we take care of our listeners here, and today we're going to take care of some of these listeners with that awesome knife.
You better start taking care of your friend because I didn't even get any fucking lube for my gun.
Get no lube. We're gonna fix that.
Couldn't even spit on it for me. Thanks, bro.
Well, it was dry out there, dude. It was so dry. I was so dehydrated. Brett Bedell, please shed some light on PCP. What options to refill tanks at home, both compressor and manual pumps? Any decent 12-volt compressors that can be run from a truck?
Yes, there is. That is an actual great question. Hand pumps is usually not an option. You can do it. The small guns like the Talon P carbine and the Escape from Airforce were both made with the smaller bottles that once you pump them up, you get 10 shots over 1,000 feet per second, and it takes about 15, 20 pumps to get back up. The larger bottles, like on these guns, that's a 3,600 PSI bottle. You're looking at 300-400 pumps to get it up with a hand pump. Not likely. And just to put it into perspective, the average home air compressor is 150, 200 PSI. These are 3,000 to 4,500. Right. So when it comes to air compressors, there's two ways to go. There's compressors that'll fill the tank on the gun, or a pony bottle, which is a SCBA tank like the ones the fire department uses on their back, which is for like a carry bottle that you use to fill the gun from there. The compressors to fill the big 4,500 PSI are about $1,200 to $1,500 for a good one. You can get them at Pyramid Air, or you can get the small ones that you can hook up to your truck battery or 110 outlet. It'll fill your tank in about 8 minutes. It's like the Nomad from Pyramid Air. I think it's just under $700-800, and you can hook it up to your car battery or 110, fill your tank, get 8 minutes, go out and shoot, come back and do it again. It's really great.
He also asked, is there any good options to cast your own pellets?
Yes and no.
You're saying yes, but don't do it? Don't cast your own?
Okay. In the world of bullets, people are spoiled. In the centerfire and rimfire world, shooters are spoiled. Like, you familiar with Lee sizing dies?
Mm.
Yeah. Sizing dies are it's been around in the firearms side for a long time. You size your lead before you put it in, reloading. But let's say you get a 457 sizing die from whatever company. The world of sizing dies, you have to learn. If you order a 457, which is the size of our gun, you're getting a 456 and 5/10,000ths. So it's a 456.5. They're 5/10,000ths undersized.
That makes a difference.
Yes, 99.9% of the time, all sizing dies you're going to get are 5/10,000ths undersized. So if you're going to cast your own, you'd get a 458, because then you'd get a 457 die, which would be a 457.5 that would fit just a little bit better in your gun, sealing it because it's air pressure, not expansion of gas and explosion. You're getting air, sealed better performance downrange. The valve will actually operate better. So
if it's a little bigger, that's okay, but if a little smaller, not good.
Yeah, the gas escapes around the projectile. And what you can actually do is get the projectile lodged in your barrel. Or a dump. So, yes, you can size, like when you're doing the smaller calibers, 177, 22, 25, they're a lot more forgiving. Once you get into the big bore sizes, 308, 357, 45, 510, yes, it is possible. There's a lot of people that do it. Do your research. Just remember, if you're getting a 308, get a 309. 457, go get a 458. A 510, get a 511.
Is there are you aware of any websites that have this information that people could go and look it up, that's got the charts maybe or anything? Does that exist?
You have to search for it, like on Airgun Nation, their forums. Like Airgun Nation is one of them. There's a few different airgun forums out there, and just like any forum, you got to weed through the trash to get to the gold.
Yeah.
But
that's good. I think you answered this question. Let's go to the next one here. Nicola Ora asked a lot of questions.
Okay.
He asked a shit ton of questions. He said, I know some states like Texas have made it legal to hunt big game with air rifles. Is this something that's changing across the board? And which states are airgun friendly? Personally, I feel that they should be allowed during muzzleloader season as well, given the ballistics that I've seen and the limited capability compared to the centerfire rifle.
That's an actual easier question to answer than you think. Yes, they're opening up. I do believe you should be able to hunt with them in more places. And if you want to know where they're able to hunt with an air gun and what calibers and what the regulations are, all you have to do is type in the search bar air gun hunting laws by state, and it's on pyramidair.com. It's pyramyd.com, pyramidair.com.
Okay.
But it's simple as typing air gun hunting laws by state, and in the search engine, it'll pop up that link right away, and it'll show a map of the U.S. Click on your state. It'll tell you what animals and what the laws and regulations are by that state.
Nice. Quick and easy. Giddy up. What's one thing that you wish everyone knew about air guns?
That is not airsoft.
Corrected me. So there we go. That gives us a good opportunity to get into our facts to fight the myths. It's a good lead in. So, Ton, we do this segment when we have specialty guests like yourself on. And what's like one of the biggest myths you'd like to dispel related to air guns other than airsoft?
Yeah. That the modern day air gun is not the old Daisy Red Ryder. It is not anymore.
It's a typical BB gun.
Yeah, not every air gun is a pellet gun. Not every pellet gun is a BB gun. I mean, this is also a form of projectile that they shoot.
Yeah, he's holding up a bullet.
I mean, yeah, these are an actual means that air guns have been come around from the point of being the Daisy, the original wireframe Daisy that was given away by the Daisy Windmill Company as a marketing ploy back in 19 what the hell or 18 what the hell, whatever year it was.
So Daisy was a windmill company?
Yeah, I think it was a windmill company. What happened is they actually gave away the wireframe Daisy BB gun as part of their marketing. You bought one of their windmills and they gave you a Daisy BB gun.
That is cool. I did not know that.
It was a Daisy wireframe, and it took off so well they started making BB guns. You're Googling that. You're like, what the damn hell, dude?
I am. I'm going to pull this up. Oh, shit. Okay, I've seen these before. I didn't realize that they were. I'm going to share my screen.
There it is.
Boom. The 20th century cast iron frame single shot BB rifle. 1888. First model.
Yep.
Wow. Look at that. And I guess is that where they pumped it? Is that the pump up top?
It was, yeah, that's the top handle, which was also your sight.
Yeah. And it's just a wire. It's like you see on some AKs, this wire stock. That's cool.
I just inhaled a gnat.
Oh, protein. Protein, baby.
Dude, there it is. Little bugger.
There's a picture of it in action, so how it worked. Very neat. So air guns have been around for a long time, like since the 1500s or something. They've got a pretty rich history.
Okay, here's another one that people always ask. The Lewis and Clark expedition.
Lewis and Clark expedition. Okay.
Look up Lewis and Clark's air gun, the Giordoni.
Their air gun or what?
Yes.
Air gun. There it is. Air rifle. Let's see. Okay.
Where did you go?
You see me?
Yep. Okay, there it is
it?
with the big ball on the bottom. The one with the ball.
This one? Oh, over here. Okay, here it is.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So it looks like a flint rifle, but it's got this ball hanging down where, you're on an AR where you'd load your magazines, but it's just it's like a Christmas ball screwed in there.
Yep. That is, it was called the Giordoni.
The Giordoni.
Yep.
Let me
there it is.
Pull it up.
Lewis and Clark expedition. They had their 20-ball magazine.
Pull it up here. This is lewisandclark.org, the Lewis Airgun. So Clark didn't get credit for this. It's 48.5 inches long overall, including a 32-inch barrel. The total loaded weight is 9 pounds. The 51 caliber barrel is rifled with 12 grooves, having one turn in the length of the barrel. The magazine has a capacity of 20 lead balls. Each air rifleman in the Austrian army carried 2 spare buttstock reservoirs and 4 refill tubes of rifle balls. This breech loading mechanism did not permit the use of a patch, which in a muzzle loading flint stock served partially to hold the ball in the breech until the weapon was fired. Therefore, the balls for this airgun had to be molded with extreme care. If too large, the ball would jam. If too small, air escape, just like we were talking about for the casting there for Brett's question.
Yeah.
If Lewis carried a repeating air rifle, this need for time-consuming precision could be one reason why he apparently used it only for demonstrations. So it goes on and it talks about it there. So they actually took it was a 51 caliber air rifle.
Yeah. 1 in 32.8 twist.
Right. They got a little crazy with their twist, didn't they?
That's dude. That fucker fell asleep while I was trying to rotate once around the barrel.
He's like, it's so long. He didn't
catch me on the next turn. I'm like a goldfish. I already forgot what I was doing.
That's funny. Let's see. Austrian air rifleman's assistant recharged the buttstock reservoirs from a large mechanical pump on a horse-drawn wagon by attaching the buttstock pump to a similar foot plate on the pump. If Lewis's rifle resembled an Austrian army weapon, he could have stood on the footplate and pumped up and down, as with a modern bicycle pump. Although filling an air gun reservoir would have required a great deal more work than that. Approximately 2,000 strokes or more than 30 minutes of nonstop manual labor would have been required to charge the reservoir of a Girardoni to the maximum working pressure, as much as 1,000 pounds per square inch.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. Is that one shot that they would get out of that? I didn't read that, how many shots they could get.
I don't remember if that's a single shot dump gun, but I thought it was a repeater, so I'm pretty sure it's a single shot dump gun.
Oh, wait a minute. Here it says, this is Thomas Rodney's account. 7 days out, Pittsburgh, Lewis docked, blah, blah, blah. They're at the Wheeling. He also chanced to meet Colonel Thomas Rodney, who was en route to Mississippi Territory. Rodney himself recounted their meeting on the 8th. He and his friends, blah, 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 showed them his air gun, which fired 22 times at one charge, is what he says there.
Oh, shit.
He showed us the mode of charging, and then loaded 12 balls, which he intended to fire one at a time, but she by some means lost the whole charge of air at the first fire. He charged her again, and then he fired twice. Did you swallow another gnat?
No. I know it had. That's a common thing with air guns.
Yeah. But when in perfect order, she fires 22 times in a minute. All the balls are put in at once, shot, barrel, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I guess they were claiming that it shot 22, but he was having trouble.
It doesn't have a lot of companies back in the day, when you go to fire, if you don't get the ammo, it goes back to our conversation with, if you don't get the ammo to seat just right and molded just perfect,
lose the air.
You lose the air, escapes around it, and you get a dump. The whole thing will piss out all the air, dump all your air out.
So did we get? Oh, go ahead.
And that goes back to the dispelling some of the myths. One of our biggest problems we have, if someone buys an air gun, no matter what company it's from, they don't want to believe it's the ammo or the shooter's fault. People need to realize some people just can't shoot. You suck. It's all right. Practice. We're here for you. There's more ammo. Dude, call us up.
There's endless supply of air.
More ammo. We can get you more ammo. We can get you more air. Just because you suck, don't give up. Because not all of us, hell, I didn't start out. I wasn't great. It took practice. And that's one of the biggest things. We get people that call. It's usually what we refer to as the doctor, lawyer, engineer. They send us business cards, a stack of business cards next to a letter, or an email with all their accolades attached to it to show how smart they are.
Mm-hmm. That it wasn't them. It had to be.
Yeah, it's the gun. Like,
the gun.
That's why I was choking on my water when they said it dumped all the air out in one shot. Because that happens. Someone makes an error. Okay, you take a slug, you drop it.
Now it's
at a round. There's flat spots. That's a spot. Now that's trash. Now it doesn't produce a perfect seal. That seal is no longer there. Air can escape. If air is escaping, the valve's dumping air. You piss out all your air. It's gone. Okay. Valve dump. Someone calls up. I pulled the trigger. It dumped all the air. Your gun's a piece of shit. What ammo are you using? What does it matter? What size is it? 45. 45 or 4.57. What does it matter? Well, there's guns out there that are 4.51.
Because that's why
there's guns out that are 4.52, 4.56, 4.57.
Check your manufacturer, right?
Yeah. But people will call up, read us King Riot Act. All I say is on the box side of your box of ammo, it's really cool. There's this thing called a label that they actually put stuff on, like grain weight, bullet size, what it's made out of, the Burnell. And we get that a lot where after getting motherfucked for 20, 30 minutes, our customer service.
Well, that's the problem with, getting into our society. That's the problem with our society. Nobody wants to take personal responsibility for dick.
Yeah.
It's always somebody else's fault. It's not my fault.
Yeah, and we crack up because that's another thing.
All right, next question. Away from the air guns here. We actually got some auction hunting question here. What was the biggest score you had a storage unit auction on storage unit auction? I don't know. What was the biggest fucking thing that you ever found in a storage unit? Pew Pew RN asked this. What's your biggest score?
There was a legal score and there was a not so legal score.
Uh-oh. Do we want to talk about the not so legal?
Oh yeah, this one's actually quite funny because
Okay.
this goes back to Florida. It was absolutely fucking hilarious. We were filming Auction Hunters. We were in Florida, Hollywood, Florida. Bought a storage unit. Scored big on tar heroin, cocaine, marijuana, and meth.
Oh my God.
Dude, score of a century. I was like, dude, we're talking keys of shit.
Yeah. Street value, $10 million.
Dude, I'm like, mother of God. If I had front teeth that swung like barroom doors and had the itches all the time and tinfoil on my windows, I'd be rolling bank. I'd have the baddest double wide on the block.
Yeah.
But no, I'm on the phone. We have the network on one phone. The producer's on the phone. I'm on the phone with the sheriff's department. I said, hey guys, this is Ton Jones. I'm at the storage facility. I just bought a storage unit. I found a bunch of drugs in this unit. And he's on speakerphone. The call center, because you don't call the emergency line, you call the regular office line.
Yeah.
It's not an emergency, so.
Yeah. Just the regular
And the
sheriff's
dispatch-
office. Yeah.
This dispatcher was fucking hilarious. Well, what do you want me to do about it? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, what do you want me to do about it? I said, sir, we have a storage unit full of drugs.
Illegal drugs.
And he's like, we're talking like tar heroin, and I'm like, cocaine, marijuana.
Holy shit.
He's all, and?
And?
I said,
You want
can
to
you
split
send
it?
someone to come get it up? He said, there's people out there committing real crime. Why are you wasting my time? And I'm looking at my producer like, bro, what the fuck you want me to do? He's like, tell him to come get it. I said, my producer's telling me to tell you to come get it. And I quote, I don't give a fuck what he wants me to do. He's like, you guys have two choices. Bring it over here or flush it down the toilet. And I'm like,
I
looking
love
back,
this guy.
and I was like, he's all, we're out there stopping real crime. He's all, figure it out. And hangs up the phone. I'm looking
That's
at my producer,
awesome.
I'm like, it's like, here's a mask. I'm like, what do you want me to do? He's all, you're the one with all the knives. I'm like,
You gonna flush it?
we sat there for like 10, 15 minutes while I'm cutting it up with the mask on and gloves in the toilet, flushing it in the toilet.
Oh my gosh. You should have done another auction for him. Then it's out of your hands.
Imagine my fat ass, fat, white, and tattooed, driving through Florida on the way to the sheriff's department with a bunch of drugs. I roll into the sheriff's department going, hey guys, here's my duffel bag of narcotics.
All the guns come out.
Dude, I already when I get pulled over, the first thing they ask is parole or probation. So no. But on the legal side of things, it was about 6 months before we started filming. I was in Fresno, California. I bought a storage unit full of reloading equipment. And this is what pretty much got me to eat real food. You know those cardboard like cylinders, the storage containers with the metal lids?
Mm-hmm.
There's like 3 or 4 of those. There's a bunch of bars of lead in the back for melting and reloading, and the Dillon press and those cardboard things full of brass,
Right.
and some random shit. I bought the unit. It was like $750. I started unloading. I already made a few phone calls, and I was like, okay, cool. I can turn all this shit. I'm going to sell the brass and the press, and I have all the other stuff. I was going to sell it for like $2,200. I already made a deal to one of my buddies who owned a gun shop, and I was going to keep all what we refer to as the smalls, like the hand tools and shit. As I'm loading these bars of lead, I'm chucking them up on the bed of the truck. I grabbed one and went to move it and about threw my back out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You're like, whoops.
What the fuck is this? I pick it up and I throw it on the bed of the truck, and they're all oxidized looking like crap. So I toss, it was ended up being 6 big-ass Kit Kat bars. If you've seen the recycling bars of lead, they look like a giant Kit Kat bar. I take some WD-40, of course, because that's what's in the shop. Spray it down, grab a rag, and wipe it down, and it's stamped .999 silver. 6 bars of silver.
Wow.
The guy had saved it, poured it in there, didn't trust banks, and from whatever reason, he melted it and kept it in a storage unit. We had contacted the family to come pick up the photographs before I found that stuff. The family said, and I quote, "That motherfucker never left us a dime. Do what you want." I said, "There's family photos. By law, we can't keep them. So turn them in to the manager. We'll figure out what we want to do with it later." So little did they know, their dad had been saving his whole life. All they had to do is go clean out his storage unit, and there was bars of silver.
Damn.
I mean, we're talking 6 bars at
solid
about, each
silver.
one was about 10 kilos each.
Good Lord.
Silver. I bought my first house.
And yeah, you did. And a motorcycle and
and food.
And
a smoker
food.
and a barbecue. Yeah. Yep.
Still living.
It doesn't
off
always
that
happen,
silver
but that was the
today.
best.
Nice. I did see some where, the firearms, you guys would run across a firearm, and there was one with a Colt Peacemaker that you ran across on one of those.
Yeah, unfortunately, if me and my partner at the time couldn't agree on one of us buying it off of each other, we had to sell it.
And is that what you guys normally did when you would do that? You're like, if you wanted it or if he wanted it, then if you couldn't agree, then you just sell it to somebody else? Does that work? Because, that's got to be kind of a pain in the ass when doing that with somebody else, is who gets what, kind of deal.
Yeah.
When you run across cool shit.
We made an agreement. If we couldn't agree on a price or a deal, and like instead of, it made it better for business if I wanted something and he wanted something and we couldn't agree on buying it off of each other, we sold it to someone else. Unfortunately, when it came to guns, every time I wanted something,
he wanted it too.
Even though he wasn't a fan of firearms.
Yeah, he didn't look much like a firearms guy. I tell you guys aren't friends anymore?
We're acquaintances.
You're acquaintances? Okay. Amicable kind of deal?
Yes. Yeah, we don't talk much, but when we do talk, it's just, we're 2 very different people.
Yeah. It got that on the show, yeah.
Yeah.
Watching the show, yeah, we're definitely not 2 peas in a pod kind of deal.
Some days were great, other days.
So how did you come up with the concept of this show? What started it all?
I was working on a TV show called Man vs. Wild.
Oh, is that Bear Grylls?
Yep. And at the time I was doing some survival stuff with him. I was a wildlife guy. And I had spent most of my life in reptiles and wildlife and exotics. And at the time I was working for a company called Kearney Productions, or Feeding Time Productions. And one day I went in to talk to Scott Gurney. I was like, "Hey, bro, we're supposed to meet today about talking about me hosting a show, something about snakes and wildlife and cool, fun shit." He's like, "I can't today. I just got off the phone with Spike TV. They want to try to do some kind of like auction show. I don't know if it's like animal auctions or storage auctions or car auctions. I just got to find some kind of idiot to host an auction show." I said, "Well, cool. I'm all, go with me to an auction tomorrow, pick some fucking idiot out, and be done." I said, "So now you can talk to me about my show." He's like, grabs the phone, turns away from me like this, covers his mouth, talks. Hangs up the phone, looks back. He's all, I found my idiot. I said, sweet. So let's talk about this show. He's all, no, you.
You.
I said, bro, no. I said, you said I get to do wildlife and animals and travel. I said, not digging through dirty ass storage units looking for treasure.
Yeah.
I said, I do that. I buy storage units because it's like robbing a house legally. And he just starts laughing. He's all, that's perfect. That's why we're going to live here. I said, no, bro. I can go in for pennies on the dollar, search through something that people didn't want anymore. Oh, damn fucking light. This fucking light every time. I said, I can search through this whole house for pennies on the dollar because people didn't want it, discarded it, don't want to pay their bills. I get to go through and reclaim it, sell it back to someone who's going to appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. There is every once in a while a sob reason why someone lost their storage unit. 99% of the time, people live beyond their means. Divorce, death. Most of the time, divorce.
Yeah.
But I said, then I go through.
Or if you're a drug dealer, you get shot on a deal and all your stashes.
Yeah, no shit. I said, but I'm all, dude, this is the reason I do it. He's like, no. He's like, I'm going to make you a deal today. You do a pilot season of this auction show and play ball with them and don't be mean. And if it fails, I'll give you a show about wildlife and whatever you want to do. But you have to be nice.
You have to give it effort.
You have to try to be politically correct. You can't purposely try to crash the show.
Which would have made it better.
I was like, dude.
So he's waving the carrot in front of you.
Yeah. So I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. He's all, be yourself, but nice.
But not yourself. Be yourself, but filtered.
Yeah. And he said, he was funny. He's all, just imagine you being around a bunch of your hunting buddies and fishing buddies and gun buddies. Because he's a gun guy too. He's one of my hunting buddies.
Yeah.
He's all, but we got to get that one guy. I was like, what one guy? He's all, that one guy that you sell all your antique shit to. I said, Alan? So yeah. He's all, the guy that does all the furniture and like, that's all, because Alan, dude, that dude is freaking smart. I got to give him that. Alan is, when it comes to antiques and tchotchkes and like fine china and like,
he knows it, huh?
Dude, I can't take any away from that motherfucker. He is genius. He pulls shit out of his.
I was gonna say, how many times he take advantage of you on deals?
Not that much, because he knows that I have no problem with eating his soul. Yeah.
So
no, he was.
So when you guys would go, you'd find these awesome things. Or how did you come up with the partner guy? How did he get involved with it? Did you know him prior to the show?
Yeah, that's Alan. He was my.
Oh, he's
partner.
Alan. Okay, so he's the one who knew.
Yeah, that's Alan.
Knew all the stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I knew stuff that, like, when it came to guns, knives, like certain things he had no clue about, and then other stuff like
he knew all that stuff.
Shit. Yeah, I had no clue about it. He knew all about it. So
when you guys
we actually made a really good team.
When you guys would take something to sell it to somebody, I'm sure all that was prearranged and whatever. But you got to do the wheeling and dealing and all that. Did any of those people ever try to take advantage of you?
Oh yeah.
Did they win? Did any of them win? No, they never really got you. Like that Peacemaker, you guys obviously couldn't decide who got it, and you ended up selling it. Or did you really sell it, or was that just a?
Oh yeah, no,
a front too. Did you do some sales sometimes that weren't actually? You was like, I'm not really selling to this guy.
The funny thing is, here's a little tidbit about TV. If money changes hands, the sale actually happened.
Well, we don't see the actual money changing hands, though. We just hear
on our show,
money changed hands.
Money changed hands. So we had to stick to a certain set of rules. In these other jackwagon shows, I'm going to pick up
like Pawn Stars
thing of Big League Chew. It's worth $6 million. And this fucking magical box in the corner of their screen right here.
Yeah.
Pops up in a magical number. And they say, oh, this person just made this much more money. And then they go through, oh, I picked up this cell phone. Oh, I can get another $700 for that. And this number just keeps rolling. They're digging through, telling you what they think it's worth theoretically. So there's this magical number up there. That means that none of that stuff in that storage unit is ever real. None of that stuff that came into that pawn shop is ever real. That is all 100% staged. When we came in, we bought the storage units at a live auction. Anybody could have gone.
Yeah. When
money changed hands at that auction, that means that auction was real. Their auctions, we tried to go once. They kicked us out because it was a private set. Auctions are public. Anybody can go.
Right.
But because they stage them, they don't have to have real cash. Because our show used real cash, money changed hands, we could not fake it. That's what sucked. Because it would have been a lot cheaper.
Did you ever find any dead bodies?
No, but our buddy Dead Fred did. Found 2.
Really?
Yeah, he beat me out on one unit and beat Alan out on another unit. Luckily, because there was a dead body in both of them. 6 months apart. That's what we call him, Dead Fred.
Dead Fred. That is crazy, man. So I guess, Did he call that same dispatcher and that guy was like, what do you want me to do about it? He's already dead.
Well, he found one in Vegas and one in California.
Well, I'd say the people in Vegas didn't give a shit.
No.
You're like, what do you want me to do about it?
Is it crispy? Throw it in the dirt. No.
All right, we're running long, so I want to wrap this up. Let's get our new guy questions in, and then we'll go back and we'll pick our winner.
Okay.
New guy. And sometimes a girl. Questions.
So, Ton, this is your first time on the Talking Lead podcast, right?
Yeah.
Never been on before. This is, that I know, the first time we met was at the Gunside event there.
Yes.
Yeah. And we've heard a little bit about your past now, you growing up and your the first air gun. Was that your first experience with a firearm in general? Was your grandfather's?
Yes.
So you had to pass that test before you could move up to bigger boys.
Yeah. Then part of the family all have the M1 thumb.
The M1 thumb.
Yep.
I love that. And what was your first center fire or rim fire firearm that you recall?
My first rifle that me and my father got together was a Ruger 1022. My first pistol was a .357 7-round revolver. And the first center fire was a Norinco SKS.
Sweet. Very nice. Do you still have any of those?
Yes. All 3 of them.
You still have all 3? Very nice.
Yeah.
You got the SKS.
First shotgun, lost it when my house got robbed.
Sons of bitches.
Yep. Along with my father's dog tags.
And I was going to say, for this next question, do you have any military or law enforcement background? You have your father.
Yep. The father, there's his dog tags. Passed away a few years ago. It's opening day of SHOT Show.
Really?
2015, we were at SHOT Show during Media Day. We were debuting the Airforce Texan. We were out on the line. Just got off the phone with him. He said, I'm going to take your stepmom to lunch. I'll give you a call later. Tell me about all the new shit you see. Love you. I'll talk to you later. My stepbrother, who's a battalion chief in Sierra Vista, Nevada, gave me a call 45 minutes later. He was in the ambulance with my father. He said, Dad coded. I've been working on him for 45 minutes. He's all, I can't do it. He's gone. I was the last person to talk to my father, and my stepbrother was the one that responded to the call. And
was it a heart attack?
Heart attack.
Sorry to hear that, bud.
65 years old.
That's young.
Yep. Complications of the chemicals used working in the military.
What, you were stationed all around the world, weren't you?
My dad was
your dad?
Everywhere. Yeah, we traveled a lot as kids. Didn't get paid very well for it, but yeah, we traveled a lot. We'd wake up one morning or come home from school and bags were packed. People were loading our shit up, and we'd be getting in the 1978 twin cab dually and off like a prom dress. We're moving to a new state.
Just like that, just up and going.
Yep. Don't ask questions. Sit down, shut up. Here's the dog, and here's some Kentucky Fried Chicken because these guys are paying for it. Shut up, let's eat.
Didn't you? I don't know if you can talk about this or not, but didn't you talk about some of the projects that he was involved with or possibly was involved with?
Yes, my father worked on the B-1 project, ship 1A through 100. B-1 bomber ship B-1A through B-1B ship 100. Worked on all of them. He worked on the AC-130 project, then worked on a bunch of the space shuttle projects. Actually started out with Rockwell International way back in the day.
Yeah.
Then Lockheed, north of Grumman, Skunk Works. I have pictures of him with the AC-130 Spectre.
Oh, cool.
Angel of Death. I mean, we have...
That's awesome.
He's been around... I had pictures back when I was a kid with my father on top of the space shuttle doing my homework.
Oh, my God.
A space shuttle tile. And
dude, that is
hard to see, but
yeah,
that was my father. I know it's really hard to see through that shitty ass camera, but that was him.
So, I mean, with all these secret government projects that he was working on, some sort of secret government chemical that did him in.
Funny enough, not funny. The aircraft's paint stripper they used to strip the paint off the outside of the airplanes when they repainted them.
Horribly carcinogenic. Yeah.
Back then, they would sit there in their suit and tie and their button-up white shirts, glasses, out there, no respirators. It caused mass amounts of blood plaque in like 3 years. He had 6 stents put in his heart. November before he passed, November 14, he had 3 stents put in his heart, and he got out. He says, "Man, I haven't felt this good in forever." I'm feeling so great. Looked better than he had in years because in the last, before he had his second heart attack, and he went in for that surgery, he had lost a lot of weight. He had to have a breathing machine. He just looked rough.
Yeah.
For 65 years old, I mean, dude, you're like, he looked rough.
I'm damn near 65 myself.
Yeah, after he had the surgery, I was like, wow, he was off the breathing machine. He had color back in him. And he said he was combing his hair and a piece of blood plaque came through and blocked the stent and instant.
Damn.
Yep.
Fucking government.
It goes quick. And all you get is a letter from, I got a letter from the president at the time. I was like, sorry about whatever. I was like, okay. And then shortly after, Trump came into office. So I wrote Trump a nice long letter about my father. And I said, yes, the former president sent over this letter. I said, if my dad knew that was the final letter, he'd be turning in his grave. Can you please give me the letter from the president from you? It'd be an honor. So Trump sent me back a letter saying, I want to thank you and your family for your sacrifice and your father's service. And so he resent a new one with his signature. And I was like, so now that's up on the wall.
So now he can rest easy.
Yes.
Hell yeah. That's awesome that you did that. And it's awesome that Trump, because he didn't have to.
No.
Certainly didn't have to.
Like, it was a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
Very nice. So that was, so you, military brat, travel around a lot. What was one of your favorite, I guess, destinations that you guys went to during your military brat years? See,
we traveled mostly throughout the U.S. We did travel a little bit over Europe, but mostly the U.S. My favorite was still, people laugh to this day, my favorite location was the desert nights out at Edwards Air Force Base, California.
Why is that?
Because we'd get to watch the bombing runs on the AC-130s and the gunships across that desert, and you can see the gunship. If you ever look up AC-130 Angel of Death, if you ever look up that picture, and it looks like an angel coming off that gunship, imagine that at night across the desert.
Did you think it was an alien?
Dude, you
think it was
UFO?
It
literally looks like a giant angel.
With all the
Google that picture real quick and look at that
All
picture. AC-130 Angel of Death. Dude, it is sick. Yeah, but my two favorite places was pretty much, I like Nellis Air Force Base, White Sands, New Mexico.
Phoenix.
But I did like Edwards because I got to go out in the desert and catch snakes and lizards. It was fun for me.
So that was going to be one of my questions is how did you develop this love for, the reptiles, the creepy crawlers? Yeah, here's a picture of it's just dumping its freaking payload, man.
Yep. And like the one that's in the dark blue, down just a little bit.
This one?
Yeah, right there. That's pretty much what it looks like at nighttime, even though that's over water.
Yeah, and that's from another plane. Imagine seeing that down on the ground. Yeah.
Now you're down on the ground, and it looks like a giant angel coming from above.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of somebody.
I just remember that being as a kid watching that going across South Base.
Yeah, those things are... There's one right there.
Yeah.
Look at
that. Dude.
Amazing.
There's nothing like that. I mean, as a kid, it didn't really register what I was seeing because you grow up with it and it's part of your life, part of every day.
Yeah. But for somebody who's never seen something like that, it looks like a phoenix. It looks like a big giant, like you'd imagine the phoenix to be.
Yeah. And then once you'd go to another school, another state, another base, and people like, that's weird. We've never seen that. I'm like,
what is that?
We used to grow up with stealth fighters and SR-71s flying over the house, T-38s.
So you were seeing all this stuff people were calling UFOs. You were actually seeing it. You knew what it was.
Yeah, we're sitting there all like, out fishing. Airplane flies over. Like, cool. And it's funny because the pilots, you get to see them and you talk to them enough. You go to restaurants and you see them enough and they go flying over and they'd take their planes and wave at you because they do low levels over and you get jet wash.
There's a little ton down there fishing. Let's wave at it.
And I was a big old fat butterball on a bicycle. I mean, it was the most awkward thing. It looked like literally like a big old pops sucker and they'd jet wash
on a
and
bike.
fly by. Yeah.
That's funny.
And it was really cool. And that's literally how I got my love for reptiles is we couldn't afford babysitters. So I would go out and play on the flight line, play on the tarmac, go out in the bushes, chase snakes, chase horned lizards. They'd give me these big old tongs and forceps. And I'd go pick up scorpions because they'd give me these big ass black lights for checking imperfections on the aircraft. I'd put the battery backpack on, turn it on, and big old black light would turn on, and you'd go run out through the desert, and all the scorpions would glow.
Everything would show.
So I'd go with forceps and put them in the igloo red lunch boxes.
So your love, the affinity for the reptile, I mean, you took it to the next level because out there at the gun site, remember that big giant hornet thing that killed the tarantula and was carrying the tarantula?
Yeah.
And you're like telling us exactly what genus and species and all that it is and the venom and how it does it. I mean, obviously you took that and you studied each of those creatures. The
little wasp had stung that desert hairy tarantula and was dragging it off and was going to lay its eggs in its abdomen, and the eggs were going to grow up and harvest on the internals of the tarantula and hatch.
Yeah, but not only that, you were talking about it was walking backwards. I was like, how does it know where the hell is it going? You're like, well, it laid a trail of pheromones and it
pheromone trail. It's following its pheromone trail back to the nest.
And then we were talking about all the snakes, and you knew, some people were talking about some snakes. You're like, well, that's not indigenous to this area. What you're going to find out here is the blah, blah, blah. I was like, I thought this guy did an auction show. What?
Yeah, I took it to a little bit. I actually, while I was doing the auctions at a young age, because it was pretty much all after I hit a couple really good storage units, I was paying for myself to go to school. I mean, I did phlebotomy, I did massage therapy, sports injury technician, sports medicine. I worked at a hospital as a phlebotomist, realized that most people don't deserve to be saved because they're idiots. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's people that genuinely need help.
Sure.
Then there's so many people with just drug-seeking behaviors, just leeches on society. And yeah, if this was Sparta, they'd be in a pit or a pile.
Right.
Let's just be real. And I said, screw it. I'm done. I like chasing wildlife and working with animals because animals, it's, you know what's going to happen. If you let down your guard, you're going to get bit. With people, oh, they're being so nice. I want to let down my guard. No, you just got shanked and now you're bleeding from your kidney and you're urinating blood.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So I decided to go work with animals, and I worked at emergency vet hospital as an orthopedic surgery tech. We put bone pins in tigers. I've worked with bears, elephants. I've worked on impounds of Michael Jackson's elephants.
Oh, shit.
We've rescued tigers. I've had cobras. I mean, I showed you pictures of me kissing bears.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing.
So I take it the reason why you didn't get the animal show is because Auction Hunters was a success, and much to your dismay. Has there been any talks of you doing one anytime soon?
It's really hard for someone like me to be able to do another TV show. As you can understand, in the world of television, if you're not walking around blowing smoke enemas up everybody's ass, and I like guns. I like hunting and fishing.
Sure.
I vote a certain way because I got family values.
And in today's Hollywood, or I mean, even then's Hollywood, that shit don't fly. And even
no, and it burns people's ass. Even back when it was Spike, and now it's Paramount. Even the owner of the production company is a very conservative person. They did not like him, even though he made bank and made a lot of great decisions.
Yeah.
It is very hard for them to hire someone like me because I'm not a yes man. I'm sorry. Actually, no. Fuck them all.
Yeah.
I'm not
no
sorry.
sorry. Yeah, no sorry here.
Yeah. Other people will say, well, I believe this. And no matter what their core value says, because they want a paycheck, they'll agree.
They'll compromise. They'll compromise.
I agree. And okay, well, now that you agree with me and you're going to do everything I say and do, you can have this job. So me being conservative, having family values, liking to hunt, fish, and loving my country.
Even like channels like the Outdoor Channel and what Pursuit and all, are they the same way on those channels too? I would think that would open something up there for the opportunity for you to.
Those are different kind of channels. Those are what we call pay to play. No matter how much money you have, you can pay.
It's like having a radio show. You pay for your spot. This is how much it's going to cost you. You bring in your own sponsors and everything, kind of deal.
You do your own sponsors, your own editing, everything. You buy your time slot. Yeah. We don't care what you do with it.
Yeah.
So you can do your own show. You foot the bill. Network television, the network decides. And the network does everything. And
that's where you succumb to their will.
And that's where you actually make not good money, but decent money. I was supposed to do a wildlife show and I was supposed to do a cooking show. But because I'm not a mindless, lifeless, soulless yes man.
Didn't happen.
Nope. And I got two things for him.
Pow! Double shot.
Yep. If you don't like me for who I am, fuck off.
Well, I would think that again, there's a flood of people out there that would enjoy what you do and see you doing it. And whether it's that pay to play station or not, I think there would be plenty of people that would want to sponsor and jump on and be a part of that. So,
and
I would support something like that.
See, that's who I am here for those who are like-minded. And even if you're not like-minded, if you just like to hang out, have fun, put all bullshit aside and want to eat some food,
that's
want
us,
to do
man.
Just chill. See,
that's the Leadhead Brigade. Yeah,
that's what I love.
That's our peeps.
If they could take that to the actual network idea and quit letting all the other bullshit
But that's that they're so afraid to do that because they know that it would work and it would disrupt everything that they've got control over right now, and they're just so afraid to bring something like that to the network.
All they have to do is be human, and sometimes that's difficult.
Yeah. All right, next question. What is your next gotta have, want to have, as soon as you get the opportunity, you're getting it? Be anything. What are you eyeing right? You're like,
well, you kind of screwed me up because now there's the AK shotgun back there that's really fucking with me now this whole show, man.
We can fix that. Yeah.
That's just, that one's digging deep. Ow.
So maybe a 12 gauge AK rifle, huh?
Dude, that thing's
AK
nice.
shotgun. And that one's here, I'll keep talking. I'll bring it up while you're talking.
Well, there's a few things. Oh, look at that ass. He must work out.
So this is the KUSA, not endorsing them at all by any means am I, but this is but they are sweet.
That is sick.
But they make a longer version of this also. And that's the one that I was showing you that Royal Range has. They got the full auto version of this.
Sick.
It's got the fun switch on it. But yeah, everything mechanical wise, it operates exactly like the rifle. Piston.
Dude, that is just badass. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah. But like I said, we're going to do an episode on that coming up. Monday, actually, is when I'm going to record that.
But on the must-have, I was looking at a new barbecue grill from Gorilla Grills, another AOB product, actually, because I like their new design. It's a front open. It actually opens like this instead of a lift lid, so it keeps the heat in.
Yeah.
But as of right now, the only thing I must have is new teeth.
Is a new grill, huh? There you go, a new grill. What is when it comes to pop culture, what is your go-to for like your escapism, your release, whether it's a movie, a TV show, maybe a magazine, maybe it's a podcast or something, new wave, maybe a YouTube channel or something. What's your go-to getaway? It could be a book.
What I usually do is I go out in the shop and start doing I'm working on a big old Watusi skull right now, but I'll put in like old school Guns N' Roses,
music. Nice.
Yeah, I'll put in like Damn Yankees, like a lot of the 80s big hair band stuff.
Oh yeah. Slayer. Listen to some
Dude,
Slayer in there.
I have problems listening to Slayer because I'm friends with Kerry King.
So somebody that's in the band kind of.
Well, I take that back because I know Slash too, but I make fun of Kerry a lot more. No, but I do the random like big hair band. Just
you put it on like shuffle and just let it play all the 80s big hair bands.
Yeah,
Van Halen. You into the Van Halen?
Oh yes, I'll listen to that. But
Pantera.
Oh yeah, but if I'm doing like a binge watch, like throw it back, it's Married with Children.
Ah, the old Al Bundy.
Yes, dude.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
It's
love and marriage. It's just
love funny as shit.
Marriage. It is, and at the time, that was just like that kind of comedy, that humor was like unheard of. It's like I can't believe they're talking about that on TV.
And then because we
can't believe he hates his wife.
Yeah,
because that was a complete opposite of the Leave It to Beaver family, the Cleavers.
He's part of No Man.
And
I can't go back to the old MTV. It just pisses me off. MTV's not music television anymore.
No, dude. Music. They should have kept it what it was originally intended for. Music videos, and that's it.
Yep.
Then they got into this reality again, the reality bullshit, and that's all it is nowadays.
Yep. Trumped up drama bullshit.
Trumped up. I like that. What's your favorite movie?
Ooh.
That's like a loaded question because it's like it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
Yeah, because if I'm in for the long haul, it's either going to be Green Mile or Lord of War.
Ooh, Lord of War. I like that one.
Yeah, that's if I'm in for a long haul movie. If I'm going in for a long binge weekend, if it's going to be like, oh, we're doing this all weekend long.
Yeah.
I can go for like a Pirates of the Caribbean marathon, or I can do a complete run of.
Is it because of Johnny Depp? Are you loving Johnny Depp in the pirate? That character that
dude, his character is brilliant.
It is,
dude. He is all over the place. I love that character,
and it's probably the most like accurate of him, probably of any character that
all over
did.
the place. And I could do that, but it's weird because even me and the kids, we've sat down and been in the shop, working in our shop. We've watched Harry Potter all the way through. Yeah, we could burn it in a weekend.
I can't get through a Harry Potter movie.
Well, while
you're
working
kids,
on
though,
other stuff, it's easier.
That's true.
Dude, if I can't sit down and watch it straight through. I cannot sit still and watch it. I'm like,
no, I just can't. I've tried. I like science fiction and like wizardry movies and fantasy movies and all that, but that's just one I never could get into.
Like if I'm going straight old school, Little Shop of Horrors. That's dude. Goonies.
Oh, the Goonies, yeah. Love the Goonies.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna throw some shit at you that you're probably even going like, what the fuck? It was Flight of the Navigator was always good.
Oh yeah, I love that. With what was that guy? I'd make my own dance moves. Yeah. Brad something, I can't remember. Brad.
Yeah, it was Flight of the Navigator.
Willem Dafoe was in that, and the Martin Riggs partner in Lethal Weapon. What's his name? Danny Glover.
Danny Glover. But there's a movie called Blue Yonder.
I haven't heard of that one.
Hardly ever. It's old Disney movie about aircraft and flying. Blue Yonder's in there, and what was that one? The Flight of the Yankee Zephyr.
Hadn't seen that one either.
That's another old school movie.
Okay.
Like
anybody famous in those?
Fuck if Darby O'Gill and the Little People. That's another movie I loved.
The Little People? Darby
O'Gill and the Little People.
Is that like a Jack and the Beanstalk kind of thing? So you love the old Disney movies.
Dude, this is like going way back.
Darby and the Little People.
Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
O'Gill and the Little People. I never heard of that.
This is back when TV had.
Is that Sean Connery? Channels. Who is that? I'm going to pull this up on my screen. Screen share. Start sharing. That looks like Sean Connery. That can't be Sean Connery. Is there an IMDb?
What year is that? Can't believe you even found it.
1959. That's Sean Connery, dude.
I love that movie.
Albert Sharp, Janet Monroe, and Sean Connery. That's going on my list right now. I've never heard of that. So, like when I was in elementary school, if you made good grades, I don't know, they didn't call it the dean's list, but whatever it was, but you get your report card like every 6 weeks or whatever. And if you were on that list, then you got to go watch a movie. And they would always play a Disney movie that you would get to go see.
Yep. Oh my God, I remember. I loved this movie when I was growing up.
Look at that. Beyond His Wildest Dreams. Darby O'Gill. Was Sean Connery Darby O'Gill?
I just remember watching it, loving the Little People and watching all the hijinks and shit that was going on.
Oh, yeah. And Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That was a good one. Cool. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Bucket list. We kind of, it's a little different than, something you're going to go out and get right now, but bucket list of things that you want to do in life. What's next on your bucket list?
Next on the bucket list.
Or what is your bucket list? Do you have a bucket list? I can't find this. There's Skype. Switch back.
Probably, I actually do. Me and my wife want to go spend some time. We didn't have time to have a honeymoon, so we want to go have.
Ton, you son of a bitch! You need to go treat that girl to a honeymoon. How long y'all been married?
6 years. We've been together since. Well, we've been together.
Shame.
We got together in 2014, married 2016, and we decided we found out because we had a wedding here in the U.S. and a wedding in Slovakia. After the U.S. wedding, there was about a month and a half before the Slovakian wedding, and then we were going to go on a honeymoon. We found out the night of of our Slovakian wedding, she was pregnant. Oops. No, not an oops. We actually planned it.
Sure. For your kids that are listening.
No, I had a vasectomy at 24, a reversal at 38, 2 kids and another vasectomy.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Planned.
Yeah, that was planned.
But yeah, we're going to do a honeymoon. We want to do a honeymoon. We'd like to go to Greece.
Well, that'd be nice.
I would love.
Yeah.
Would be really nice. I like scuba diving, swimming, fishing. She likes sitting on the beach. So
she can watch you scuba dive.
Yep. She says it's the perfect place for us to go somewhere together to do our own thing.
Let's go somewhere together and not be together.
Yeah, because
perfect 6 year. Yeah.
She likes the fact that she can sit on a beach and lay there for hours. I can go into a weightless environment where fat people don't hurt and sit there for as long as possible.
But seriously, though, dude, for those who've never been scuba diving, it is the most peaceful, surreal, relaxing thing that you could ever do.
Yes.
And especially if there's sea life to witness and explore. I like doing wreck dives.
Wreck dives is awesome. We were part of the sinking of the Yukon out of San Diego for the artificial reef.
Nice.
And I went back and dove it 5 years later. That's pretty awesome. It's kind of generic and cheesy, but you can go out and dive Oahu. But the good thing about diving Oahu is you get to actually see the sea turtles.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Awesome. Yeah, sea turtles are awesome.
Great Barrier Reef's always great to dive out there. It's just fun. Diving's great.
I love it. I haven't been in way too long. I got to get back into it.
Yeah. But
so next question: laws be damned, rules be damned, money be damned. What would you do or own? No limits.
No limits.
There's no limits. Guys, you could own anything, do anything. No laws apply. Only your ethics.
Oh, that's sketchy as fuck. No, if it was a house, I'd be living probably at the top of Slovakia with a full-on, like at the Spish Castle, but fully decked out, armored top, set up everything with my own meat processing plant and garden. Vehicle would be a rally car with a minigun and dual flamethrowers coming off the back.
Nice.
That would happen. It is possible.
So Slovakia.
Dude.
That's like your ideal spot, Slovakia.
See,
what kind of weather do they have in Slovakia? I'm thinking like rainy and kind of like Seattle. Is that?
No, London's more of Seattle. The more of Harry Carey with the plastic butter knife type shit. Slovakia is beautiful. It's summertime, mid 70s, low 80s. Wintertime, fucking cold, but still beautiful. But it's that cold where it's dry.
Yeah.
It gets past that wet cold and instantly goes to the dry cold. But the culture out there, the lights are beautiful. The community is great. They get together, do festivals, and it's actually still a community. Like, not just we get together this one time a year and say hi and put on our fucking retarded sweaters and have bullshit tea and reindeer cups and blow smoke up each other's asses for a night while walking away saying that I fucking hate her. No, they actually get together and do stuff every day. It's still a community.
What kind of government do they have in Slovakia?
Sketchy as fuck, like everywhere else.
Yeah, like in that area.
But it's not bad. They hold elections. They just had elections last week. But there's, unlike us who have like 2 or 3 or 4 parties, they have like 7 or 8 or 9.
We have 2 parties.
Yeah,
we have 2 parties. And really those 2 parties is one party that have divided to make people think there's 2 parties. And there's really not. They're in cahoots.
Yeah,
people.
Then if you look at the ballot, Libertarian, Green Party, other, and some, but they actually have a few different, not as bad as the UK, but I think there's like 4 or 5 parties there.
Yeah.
But just like here, there's only 2 that really stand a chance at any election.
Right. So you'd have a big castle, a lot of land, self-sufficient. You have a nice defense system set up.
Not just a defense system. Our defense system doubles as our hunting blind. Dual purpose, bro.
There you go. Make the most of things.
Dude, because you're
this coming from a guy who grew up with government cheese. See, I see the thinking here. You know, you're not wasting anything. No waste.
Inside the castle walls is your garden, and by the castle is like the Spish Castle has a stream that goes by. There's your water source. It's a warm water spring, so you have water year round, so you can always water your plants. Then, at the base of the mountain, right below your gun turrets where you're hunting, you have your meat processing plant by the downside of the road, so you can process all the animals there.
So you thought about that. You've actually put some thought into this. I like that. A little bit. I like it.
Because now you've got your defense system, your hunting blind, your food source, your water source, and protection because you're on a rise.
And you got your cache of full auto 12 gauge AKs.
And every morning, I could walk out on my balcony, sip my coffee, and have my cigar.
Nice.
Dude. And if I want to go to the store, I get in my rally car with minigun and flamethrowers.
There you go. You just pick up some bread.
Serious.
So what's your go-to cigar? Because I know you're a big nicotine fan.
Am not,
as he takes up.
My everyday is either a Punch Champion. I like Punch Champions a lot, or a Short Story. Those are really good. Romeo and Julieta's another really good one. But pretty much any of the Arturo Fuentes. I don't like a light, but I also don't like a really heavy, like Maduro.
What's that one? That big giant one that I got the picture of you that I posted on the.
Oh God, what was that one? That was
like a horse leg.
Yeah, that was. I think that was not a JR. It was bigger. That was a 90. That was a 90 ring. I think that was a 10-inch 90 ring, which means they're about that big around.
Yeah, it was huge. It was like one you'd see on the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I got a couple
Daffy
of
Duck
those.
Could be smoking.
When I'm cooking this weekend, I'll be cooking this weekend or Monday. I've got a couple people coming for a hunt. I'll be breaking out some cigars.
Yeah. Little treat.
And
little treat for the hunters.
I might be cooking up some Red Stag. Thinking of you, wishing you were here, cooking and eating.
No doubt.
Smoking a cigar with me, or just making fun of me for hacking up along.
I'm just crossing my fingers that tropical storm or whatever it is doesn't shut down CanCon that I'm supposed to go to. So maybe we'll get some content for you guys from CanCon this year, Leadheads. But keep your fingers crossed.
It's brutal, bro. That storm looks rough.
It does. It's hitting Florida tomorrow. I mean, it's actually getting the front stuff right now, and then tomorrow it's supposed to just hit them in the mouth. Yeah. But I did talk to our buddies at Kel-Tec, and they seemed that everything's going to be south of them, so they should be okay. They're good buddy Chad and Matt.
Oh, that was one of my very first EDCs, Kel-Tec 9.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The old Kel-Tec 9. Yeah, man. They've come a long way.
Dude, they've been around forever.
They get a lot of hate thrown at them, but man, they come out with some innovative stuff. I mean, I'm not saying everything's a hit, but they've got some really good product.
At least they're fucking trying. I mean, let's be real. Kel-Tec, they at least try.
The Sub 2000, you ever shot one of those?
Dude, no, I want to. How is that?
Dude, it's everything you'd hoped it'd be in more.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about that.
Yeah, they are so smooth and accurate. Love them.
I had a guy talking shit about Caltech the other day, and because I was actually, it was about 3 months ago, not the other day, it was about 3 months ago, because I was carrying it, and we were talking about our EDCs, and he was all so proud. He's like, yeah, I carry a full size. And I was like, oh yeah, I do a subcompact. I'm like, yeah, I got a Caltech 9 I'm carrying. This motherfucking jackwagon, guess what he's carrying? Take a guess.
I'm gonna say he's carrying a Sky.
Worse.
What
would you use as a bone anchor or a doorstop?
Oh my God. A High Point? He's carrying a High Point?
High Point 9mm.
And he's bragging about it, huh? Well, look, that's why they make them, because everybody can't afford, the high-end stuff. Everybody can't get a Kimber. Everybody can't get, even Glocks, which, I mean, shit, you can get Glocks for like $300 these days, but
I
don't know why you would ever want to go High Point, but
I had to break this dude's heart. I said, you got these lace-up combat boots with the security tag still on them, and you're carrying a High Point 9.
A High Point 9.
I said, bro, you are the Southern reason for this term. Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Yeah, and then you talk bad about somebody. Yeah. Yeah, I saw this post the other day. I don't know if it was real or not, but this dude was like crying. He just bought this Glock, and he gets it home and he finds out that it's an airsoft. We're talking about air gun versus airsoft. It's and he's like trying to explain to his buddy. He goes, but it looks real, and then he bought an airsoft.
There is BB guns out there that look identical.
Oh yeah,
they're ram air pistols or replica guns, or BB guns that are made to look identical.
Yeah. And he pops the magazine, and it's the air cartridge or whatever.
Air cartridge with the slimline for BBs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there was this other post of this dude. He's like in a Mrs. Winters or something, and he's got the extended mag, like the 32 round. He's got it holstered, carrying it on his side, but it's the wrong mag, or he's got it in an airsoft gun or something. I can't remember, something another retarded about. But anyway. All right, last question. Yeah. What, or if you could spend the day at the range with anyone or any group of people, whether they're alive, dead, or fictional, who would you spend the day at the range with?
Ooh, alive or dead.
Or fictional. Or you can mix them. And it can be one person, it can be a group of people.
Dude, that is a really, really tough question.
I don't know. I get some people that are just, like that with it, and then some people that put too much thought in it, like you. Who's the first person that came to your mind?
The Hulk.
The Hulk? Okay.
I said Hulk or Wolverine. I was like, one of those two. Just see how they would handle it.
That's perfect. That's the whole purpose of this question.
I was like, if any I was like thinking, okay, you said fictional. I said, okay, let's get it. I want the Hulk and Wolverine with machine guns and flamethrowers. That's the picture that popped up. I said,
the strongest two people in the Marvel universe with the adamantium bones, and then the Hulk, who's just indestructible. You're going to put guns in their hands.
Yeah, and flamethrowers.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's just where I went with that.
Oh, and that's fine. That's perfect. So you're a Marvel guy, because you didn't go Batman, or you didn't say the Flash, you didn't go DC. So you're a Marvel guy.
I do like Flash, but the whole Batman thing, fuck, for the love of God, let it go. Over it.
Let it go.
I'm Batman.
Dude, if you have to say it, you're not it.
You got to tell people who you are?
Yeah. You're Batman? Really? I thought you were just like a furry dressed up for a fucking masquerade parade. Fucking lame.
Although I have been watching Pennyworth on, I guess it's HBO that does the DC stuff.
Yeah.
And that's Alfred, his butler.
Yeah.
And it's his life prior to becoming Batman's butler.
I think I would like that.
It's pretty good. He's like a former SAS.
See, that's
Kinda
just
do.
badass.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's kooky, but it's still pretty good. And I don't like DC shit typically either.
Yeah, I like Marvel.
I don't get into the DC much at all. But yeah, Marvel. Make mine Marvel. Stan Lee, baby.
Yeah.
Rock on. So there you go, Ton. We did it. You got through an episode of the Talking Lead podcast. This is one of my longer ones. Yeah, we went long on this. You and I have been on here actually for 4 hours. The recording's like 3.5, so I gotta probably do some editing down. But there's probably tons more, no pun intended, that we could talk about, and that gives us an opportunity to have you back on the show sometime.
Yeah, and then at that point, I'll show you.
Here
what
we go.
This shoots, what this comes out of.
Yeah, exactly. By then, yes, I want to see that. So, but before we sign off, we got a giveaway. We're going to give away that knife. Hold that knife up again, if you would. The Cold Steel SRK fixed blade with sheath and custom Airforce logo. About 1 in 100. So limited, very limited run here on this. And we're going to take this from our pool of people who posted questions. And if you didn't participate, then you're not going to win, because that's how we give shit away. You have to participate and you have to listen, because I don't get in touch with these people if they win. They have to actually listen to the show to find out if they win or not.
Oh, sweet.
And if they don't contact me, then what we do is we donate any unclaimed prizes to Sheepdog Impact Assistance. It's an awesome organization that helps our wounded first responders, military LE men and women by doing hunts and outdoor adventures and things like that.
That's perfect.
So, of our participants that we have, do you want to pick your favorite question, or do you want to do a random like number generator kind of thing and see who wins? I'm going to let you decide because you're giving it away.
I know my favorite, but at the same time, I still think we should do random.
Okay, just give everybody a good
give everybody an equal chance.
Okay,
because you know what, everybody asked. Anybody that took the time to ask a question should get a chance to take a shot at it.
I think so. Let's do that. So and this is going to be awesome. And I tell you, Leadheads, all the time when you see me post, ask questions, this is where we're giving away awesome prizes. So if you didn't take part, and sometimes it's my fault, Ton, because usually I try to give them at least a full day to 2 days. And I usually get a lot of questions after. But anyway, these are the people that did it, paying attention to their social media. We've got 8 that I counted. And Angie is number 1. Old Tennessee's number 2. Aura, which is Nikolai's number 3. Pew Pew's number 4. Giddy Up's number 5. Brett's number 6. Harleywood, because he did. He's eligible. He's number 7. And Evan Flood, who's on the new History Channel TV show that you guys need to watch Thursday, is eligible too. So do you have a random number generator that you can pull up? You got like Google or something like that? Or
actually, I think I have it on here.
Okay. 1 to 8. Let me make sure there's no new ones since we did this. There. Oh, and did you make a post on your page? Were there anybody that posted any on your page?
I tagged and told them to go through yours.
Okay. I did get some new followers, so thank you for that. I'm sure that's where they came from. Yeah, so 1 through 8. I don't see.
I told them to stalk you.
Told them to stalk me.
Let me see. Did I even update?
So we got 1 through 8. Really good chance somebody wins something awesome here.
1 through 8. Nope, not 800.
We could do that, and then if it hits one of those other ones, then me or you win it.
Yeah. It said
number 2. Number 2 is Old Tennessee. Old Tennessean.
What was his question?
He asked, and it was a good one. Where's he at? Oh, Tennessean. What pellet material is best for hunting? Lead, steel, copper, or some other? Also shapes. What shapes are best for hunting? Because I didn't know they had different shapes either.
Yes. Good. Because there was 2 questions that I was like going for. It was the pellet material and shape, and the other one was the air compressor. Those were the 2 questions. I was like, That's why I was like, let's do random, because I couldn't decide between the 2.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, that's
Perfect.
as fair as we could do it right there. So
that's awesome.
So as you lead heads know, the more you participate, the more you win. I know Old Tennessean has won several times in the past. All you guys have that I see on here, except for Harleywood, because this is the first time he's commented, and Angie. But we like new listeners, so this is how, for our new listeners, you get involved. You got to participate. You got to watch our social media posts. Sometimes I'll pick somebody who's made a comment on one of our podcasting apps. It's left a comment or a like or something like that. If you email me jack wagons or suggestions for the show, or somebody maybe you'd like to, that stuff's also eligible. We've given away prizes for people who participate that way. I think the last episode, a guy had done like the trifecta. He emailed me, he commented on the post, left a post, and he did like some sort of review or something like that. So he won the lockdown. Brian was giving away some cool lockdown prizes. So that's how we do it here. So Ton, I appreciate you taking the time. Oh yeah, Ton being on, joining the Leadhead Brigade here, and give Airforce a plug where they can go and get all the info and everything on your air guns.
Yep. You can go to airforceairguns.com and check out all of our gear. We have awesome sales going on right now. 20% off our big bores, 25% off our utility guns. Airforce Airguns at Instagram. Just come check us out. If you have any questions, follow us on YouTube. You can find our YouTube on our website. And just, if you have any questions, reach out. We check our social media, not as much as I should, but I do try.
And then they've got the Bolt air gun coming out that you guys keep your eyes peeled for.
Called the Talon Bolt,
coming
out within the next 30 days.
Dig it. I definitely, we're probably going to have you back on to talk about that, no doubt. I got lots of questions for that. And then for you personally, Ton Jones Official on the grams, where else can they reach out and touch the
I have Ton Jones Official also on YouTube, but you can find my YouTube on my Instagram channel. And that one's just getting going again after being shut down.
Again, it happens, you know. Apparently you're doing something right, is what I've been told. If you're not being shadow banned or shut down, then you ain't doing it right.
Yep. Every once in a while, they got to delete the fat guy.
There you go. And go and show our sponsors some love. Mission First Tactical, and use the code LEADHEAD there. You get 20% off. They did a really good job on the items they supplied for the gun site. Defend your lifestyle, secure your lifestyle and defend your lifestyle. So if you guys do some hashtag searches on those, you'll see all the people there in the post that they did. And Mission First made holsters for the P80 and the magazines, the AR and the pistol magazines. And they supplied the AR magazines too. It had a nice custom lockdown logo that they put on everything. We're going to show you that in that episode that we do. I've got them back here in this case. There's some pictures online too, but we're going to pull all that stuff out when we do the follow-up episode with Lockdown and some of the people that attended and some of the sponsors. So be paying attention to that. But go to Mission First Tactical, show them the love. Use the code LEADHEAD, 20%. Oh, there's a Ton showing his off there. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Seal One, you go to seal1.com, use the code LEADHEAD, you get 25% off there. Any of their products. If you want to protect, clean, keep that corrosion away from your firearms, your bows. It also works on lubing your rails for your crossbows and strings. Use it for that. And if you're a boater, you're out in the water all the time, anything out there, your knives, keeps the corrosion away. Seal1.com. Leadhead, 25% off. 1776 United, you want to get awesome shirts like the one I'm wearing, Die Terror Scum, or you want to get our logo t-shirts, the Talking Lead official apparel and the Leadhead Brigade, you can go to 1776united.com. Use the code Talking Lead, get 20% off there. Factory 47 for our AK Corner logoed apparel. I don't have anything handy right now with our wait a minute, yeah I do. Logoed hats, t-shirts, hoodies. Our Leadys, we call them Leadys. They're not Yetis, they're Leadys. The Talking Leady keeps your drink seconds colder than a Yeti. Go get the AK Corner Leadys, Factory 47. That's FAKTORY47.com. Leadhead, you're going to get 10% off there. You want some ammunition? You want a little discount on some ammo, Ton?
Oh, yeah.
Go visit our buddy Pete Pye over at Defiant Munitions and use the code all caps Leadhead. You're going to get 10% off. And they make some high quality ammo from 9mm, your pistol caliber, up to your rifle caliber. They do 7.62, they do 223. They do your, was it 45-70? You got.
That's what I need.
They do it. And it's good stuff. Pete, remind me, and I'll introduce you to Pete. We'll do an intro.
45-70.
And of course, Jeremy Gresham over at IWI, our good friends over at IWI US, for sponsoring the AK Corner. Go check out IWI on the grams. Their shooting team, they're always doing some cool stuff. And we're going to have an individual who's been in the Ukraine doing some training over in the Ukraine on an upcoming episode 2, who happens to shoot IWI, shoots their Galils and whatnot. But we're going to have him on coming up. Not going to tell you who he is. It's a surprise. And then, of course, Keltec, our friends at Keltec Weapons, Chad and the gang. Use the code LEADHEAD. You're going to get 15% off anything in their pro shop. Guns excluded. No firearms, but their accessories, their shirts, their hats. They've got some knives. They got some flashlights at Keltec. You know, the holidays are coming up. Use these codes. Now's the time to go buy awesome stuff. And then Lockdown, I gave you that code earlier. It's a Leadhead, 15% off anything over at Lockdown. And they're going to keep that going, I know, at least until their shelves come out in January. So I expect they'll just keep that code going as long as you guys are using it. But all these sponsors, go show them the love by buying their products. That's how we keep this show coming to you each and every month and not charging you for it. I don't do any of those crowd funds or, you know, what is it where they pay to play. You guys get this free each and every week. And you get to meet awesome people like Ton Jones that we had on today. And the real people, you know. This is the real Ton Jones right here. This is the guy that I hung out with for a week in Arizona and had a blast. And you guys get to do it for free.
I enjoyed hanging out with you.
So, Ton, again, thank you so much for being on. Thank the guys at Airforce for me taking all your time today, because we did take the whole day. But we are going to have you back on again soon, and hopefully we'll get one of your other guys there, to maybe your engineers, to talk about some of the brainy stuff that goes behind your firearms.
Yeah.
Or your air guns. They're not firearms. But Leadheads, until the next episode, go and show all our sponsors, all the friends of the show, your love, your support. And as always, keep your loved ones close.
And your air guns even closer.
Charged and at the ready.
Yeah.